nudity. No nudity.
And we're live.
Welcome to the no nudity stream of Isfjell. We've just decided that policy set in stone now. Yeah. All right. Well, we've been off for a couple. Well, we've been off from the main progress of Isfjell for a couple of weeks. But we're back now with a special guest for this evening and some interesting things to come, hopefully. So before I get going on the recap and everything, do we have any announcements? I forgot to check this beforehand. If you enjoy this game, there is also a horrible game on Tuesdays where everyone dies.
No, well, only one person has died. We have lost limbs, but only one person has died. That's
Hello,
right.
I'm
That's right.
here for the ready to die in every game on Lawful Stupid meeting.
I'd like to help with that.
Out.
I just want to watch.
All right. So before we get into, apart from our guest, your character will get their introduction when they appear. If everyone else just say hello, say who you are, and who will you be playing this evening?
Okay, I'll go first. Starting in the upper left, I am Adair, a Circle of the Moon druid, who, I guess, just is a love badger and a Care Bear.
All right, Moira.
Yes, hello, my name is Moira, and I will be playing Iris Stratus. She is a Air Ganassi paladin who has a mass weapon of destruction and wants to let everyone know. So, there you go.
All right, Chael. I'm picking them at random to keep them on their toes.
I am Chrysara, and I am a barbarian of the Storm Herald path. And I just want to freaking vote, okay, and adopt all of the children that don't have parents, because everyone deserves a crazy barbarian mother. Thank you.
All right, Bova.
My name is Bovasaur. I play Torvald, the Tempest Cleric, formerly Torvald the Blacksmith, who enjoys hitting stuff with lightning and trying to prevent crazy things that Chrysara is doing and other members of the party, like adopting random fey demons.
That's still Chrysara.
Oh yeah, that too. Man, I guess it's just Chrysara.
Yep.
Babysitting the mom. My job.
And yeah, we were also joined this evening by a murderous squid.
Hi.
All right, so I will give you a recap in a minute, but first of all, roll the intro. The outdated intro.
Just a moment.
I got overruled by. I got overruled.
Here it is.
Far to the north, on the borders of the bitter ice, there lies a harsh and brutal land. A land with no space for the weak or the cowardly. Here, monsters dwell deep beneath the frozen peaks, and warriors venture forth on raids to bring back rare treasures from distant lands. It is a cruel land, but for them, it is home. And when a new threat rises, our heroes must take up arms and place their lives in the hands of Lady Luck, for the sake of their home, for the sake of Isfjell.
I think it's definitely Gith. All right,
We're back.
we're back. All right, so in the story so far, for anyone who needs a quick catch up, a group of various individuals called in to help kill a troll, went to save someone's sister, stole several boats along the way, and then made an alliance with the gift they'd stolen the boats from, and set off west in search of a giant's castle from which they were hoping to steal a magic wand. However, along the way, they've detoured towards Adair's home after his mentor, the druid Herion. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Adair?
That is correct.
Okay. The druid Herion sent a message via squirrel saying something was wrong in the forest. They set sail over the forest. Not forest. They set sail over the forest in their flying boat. And along the way were troubled by some strange dreams, which stranger than normal, and that is saying something, as many of the party are continually troubled by various strange dreams. It's rather commonplace. But now, as they've awoken from strange dreams and been spent the rest of the day flying onwards over this almost endless sea of trees beneath them, the uninterrupted canopy of the Hexog forest. And now ahead, you can see a gap opening up in the forest canopy. And it's probably actually been hang on, getting my timings right. So now it's been about another day and a night since you set sail over the forest. And now as the sun's rising up, you can see the light glittering off this large, still lake that breaks the canopy of the forest. And Adair, you recognize the familiar shape of Pendle Lake, on which the village of Oak Tree Crossing. Oak Bridge Crossing. I keep getting that.
Oak Bridge, yeah.
It's because there's an oak tree at Oak Bridge Crossing.
I think it's because you left out the stopover at the waterfall. It's just thrown you off your course.
Penis Falls will never be mentioned again. We don't talk about what happened there.
Pardon?
Yeah, you'll need to go back and watch a prior episode.
And yes, where was I? Yes, you see the familiar form of Pendle Lake, on which the village of Oak Bridge Crossing is situated. And you'll know that you're approaching from the east side of the lake, not far from the village itself. And as you're bringing your boat over the canopy, I'll say for the sake of, expediency, that currently, who would like to be flying the boat? And if none of you would like to, I will place our absentee Aldous in the chair.
Give her the
I'm
chair.
not flying it. I remember what happened last time. No, ma'am.
Okay, Aldous is seated in the chair. At the front of the boat, Olwen is perched on the prow of the boat, dangling her legs over the side, wrapped up in her cloak of dragon skin that keeps the icy cold that surrounds her trapped close to her. A little distance away, Aldis's familiar Sindri is sat there just watching Olwen. And towards the back of the boat, Cressara's sister Amalia is looking away on, looks to be a net she's just fiddling around and making as the boat flies along. Just weaving it in back and forth in between her fingers. But as the lake comes into sight, I have a very important question for you all here. Which is, how would you like to approach this place? just to warn you that you are a bunch of Isfjellians in a flying ship.
Did you draw this?
Yeah.
It's adorable. Not in like a not in like a child putting a picture on the fridge adorable. I mean, it's really nice.
I do see one of the ruins is giving us the middle finger, so I think we should go there.
Oh no! Yeah. We
Can't-
move on from penis falls to
Can't-
middle
There's always,
finger.
yeah, there's always something.
Middle Finger Mountain.
We'll always find something.
What about
Yes.
Walking Grove's chalk outline?
Ooh, yeah.
That's true. That's true. All right. Are we? Where did we land on the lake? Roughly, I guess is my first question.
Well, that's the question: is are you landing on the lake? Or are you? Hang on, let me just. Apologies, my. Roll 20. You're currently sort of approaching from this direction.
Well, a sacred circle seems like a fun place to check out.
Yes, but please don't land the ship there. Well, I guess Adair will make a suggestion that we come down in this area right over here.
You've all got control over the boat tokens, so sail it wisely.
Everyone okay with here?
I mean, a sacred circle seems kind of fun.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm kind of partial to Sacred Circle myself.
So you're saying like maybe down here?
It's quite literally your neck of the woods. So.
Or are you trying to make him angry and actually land there?
Kind of right there, but
Yeah, ultimately, I think it's up to you. Just because
Right
we don't
there
know
was
this area.
How about right there? Is that good? Everybody happy with that?
Sure,
All right.
I'm happy with it.
DM, how about right there?
Right there. So you're bringing the boat down on the lake, sort of closer to one of the sacred druidic circles than to the village itself. You are. Let's see if I. No, I did not fix that. So you're probably about 30 miles or so south of Oak Bridge Crossing at this point. But in your boat, that's actually not a long distance. So you bring the ship down onto the surface of the lake. You can see the shore is filled with sort of dense tangle of trees and undergrowth. There does seem to be a sort of narrow path leading up from the shore into the forest itself. Adair, you would know that the circle is probably an hour's or so walk into the forest, this map being not to scale. The circle is not actually about 5 miles wide. Neither are there any houses that are 5 miles tall. You've not reached the land of giants yet.
Okay. Are you really wanting to examine the circle, or shall we proceed on? I need to make a stop on the way in and see if I can find any messages. Maybe another squirrel.
Well, I think you'd know best.
I'm curious about what the circle is. Perhaps you just tell us and we won't accidentally disturb anything.
Or maybe some things are sacred and aren't for the general knowledge.
Agreed. I think we should leave it alone.
I'll let you have this one, but don't be throwing any more ale overboard.
I'm fairly sure that the gods have determined that we will be back here at some point, because, why would you place a sacred circle on a map if it wasn't going to be used? So I will recommend that it is a long, long walk in, but if we want to get a little bit closer, I'd recommend we sail on a ways and sail on the water so that we don't arouse the attention we normally do.
I'll let you have this one, as long as everyone else agrees. This once. But again, remember the ale.
I will get you ale.
I'll never have another self-filling mug, and she just sort of looks off. sort of aggravated, but not really, so she kind of just grins at Adair.
The self-filling mug came from someone we couldn't exactly trust. I do not understand you people.
It was ale that never ran out. What if not to trust? We could have had our own bar.
Well, I'm sure you can get I'm sure you can talk Torvald into making some more ale.
Careful what you wish for.
We had
Aldous just pulls a face.
All right.
I'm not wanting to run the boat, but I will. I mean,
you're not going to the Sacred Circle.
Apparently not. We'll just sail up over here and stop here before going to the inlet. How's that?
So you sail away across the surface of the lake. Is anyone keeping any kind of lookout? Any kind of... If they are, you can make me a perception check. Because once again, I've forgotten to write down passive perception. It's only like 3 months later.
My passive's pretty low. It's only 19, so if anything happens, I probably missed it.
Pathetic.
That's all. I rolled 24.
Awesome.
I rolled a 9, but I don't have my thing pulled up because I'm stupid.
All right. So as you approach this inlet, all of you can clearly see. You can see this inlet heading in off the lake. It seems to be a fairly decent sized river flowing down out of the forest, and you can see where it joins the lake. The shape of a large oak tree. This great ancient looking oak with branches reaching up to the sky, cleaved in two as if struck by lightning. Ira, this tree looks weirdly familiar. You swear you've seen it before somewhere.
Which
in a dream,
describe it
maybe.
again, real quick.
A large oak tree.
Okay.
A great standing on the shores of a lake.
Yes.
But Torvald, as you're sailing along the lake up towards this river, you notice a couple of things with your keen dwarven eyes. First of all, you see off in the distance, you see another boat on the lake, a little larger than yours. It seems to be heading. You can just see it off on the horizon. It seems to be heading off in the other direction. Secondly, you can see it seems to be it's just a glimpse like through the trees, but you'd swear there was a figure sort of standing at the bottom of that oak tree.
I will relay that information to everyone else as well.
Well, I was going to ask if we could stop here anyway, so...
Alright, so you pull the boat up towards the shore. And as you approach, you can all more clearly see that there does seem to be someone, well... Exactly what they're doing by this oak tree, I will get to that description in a minute. We'll just work out what they're doing. You lost. You can see there's a boat making its way up against the current into the inlet off the lake. It's quite an unusual looking boat. It's made of this silvery looking wood. It's quite slenderly built. Almost looks like some kind of raiding vessel, the kind that you hear about in stories of distant northern lands and the sea raiders. And you can see there's about half a dozen or so figures scattered across the deck, including a young woman that seems to be sat in sort of a silver chair at the prow of the boat, who's focused on sort of looking out ahead of it. But the boat is there's no oars, and the sail Well, it seems to be going against the wind, and it's moving at a fair speed.
Then Ulost will pop up from digging around in the dirt. He will look up and see the boat, look on his shoulder and say, "Oh, she was right!" and start bounding through the woods, his 7'5" figure splitting the bushes, making sure not to break anything, but just like tiptoeing over bushes, like, oh, sorry, pardon me, excuse me. He apologizes to each of the bushes as he runs through.
Are we
And goes
close
to the
enough?
shore and starts waving his hand.
Are we close
You
enough
can all
that
clearly see this figure. Just
could
I
I
know you
tell?
described him as 7 foot, but
Could
how
I
else would
tell
you
that he
describe
was?
him?
Could I tell that he was digging at this tree?
It wasn't digging. He
Oh,
was
okay.
he was toiling around in the dirt. He is 7'8". He is weighs about 300 pounds, naked. But this particular furball is very, very old, and his body is essentially its own ecosystem. Once you get closer, you'd be able to see it. But similar to like the Dune suits, like he doesn't use the bathroom at all. It's just its whole thing is covered in moss and tree bark and all kinds. Like if you got up close, there's centipedes and like bugs crawling around. Not in like a disgusting way. They're just existing in their own little environment. He lifts up his arm. There's like a spider web here. Yeah, birds are landing on him without even thinking about it or checking, to just like pick off pieces and fly off. And he's covered in fungus. And he's excitedly jumping on the shore right now. He's like, hello! She said you were coming.
Is he waving at us or the other ship?
You guys.
Oh,
The other ship's passed off.
Yeah.
You passed that earlier. It was just very much a glimpse on the horizon.
In spite of
Well,
himself. In spite of
He
himself.
looks like he'll be a.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Torvald. I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you.
He looks like he's a fun guy. We should talk to him.
I really think so.
3 minutes. That's all it took, I guess. 3 minutes, huh?
That's it. That's all you got. That's probably what Tam was gonna say too.
No, in spite of himself, Adair is actually going to raise his hand and kind of wave.
This
he's so
excites him
cute.
even more as
Oh,
he jumps
hello.
up and down. See the
Iris-
earth like rippling.
Ira's losing it. Ira loves this man. She saw this man and went immediately like, this is a friend. This is a good boy.
Well, as Iris looking so excited, I mean, just to give a quick description of Ira, because I think she'd be possibly the most striking person visible on this boat at this point.
Yes, sure. So Ira, not quite as tall as you, but she is just a relatively average height, lean Eric Janasi.
Say it how you want.
So she has pale blue skin and then kind of like silvery gray hair, more towards white. And then she's in this nice armor. It's got a bunch of detailing on it with symbols of Lady Luck, as well as a giant shield that she holds in front of her. And she always kind of has this look of the wind blowing through her. And she also has a cape now as well.
The cape is billowing.
Billowing.
Yes,
I was going to
it's
say, I
billowing.
assume it's billowing.
Yes.
There's a very excited blue lady.
Yes, she's basically mimicking you. So you were up going like this, and she just decided to join you in it.
Extra
Hi!
excited at this point.
Yes.
As you guys actually get closer as well, you see a kind of circle around him, almost look like fireflies, except way smaller, just kind of going around him slowly. Now that you're closer.
I think he's getting attacked. We should help him. Look at those things.
Those are bugs.
Yeah, he seems rather content if he is getting attacked.
I'm not sure about that. He's hopping around like a crazy person.
I mean, so am I at this point. He seems, I don't know. We usually don't get warm welcomes. We get, like, Cold welcomes.
Yeah,
This is very exciting.
Nobody's running
That
and
was just the
screaming. What's
dragon.
wrong?
You can't blame a white dragon for being cold.
Ulost runs into the water, like up about this high, and grabs the boat and tries to start pulling it in to help you. Like, this way, come on!
You see a cat looking down at you.
Olwen, perhaps come away from the edge just until we understand his motives.
Come on! This way!
Sarah, I think your boat is being stolen by a fungus man.
Yeah, come away from the edge over here with me just until we understand what on earth he's doing.
I'm helping! You hear in between gurgles.
Yeah, so your boat is sort of been pulled up now, sort of into the reeds on the shore of the lake, very close to this large ancient oak tree that stands above you.
Ira will hop down and greet him when she gets the chance.
Hello!
Hello.
She said you were going to come.
Who is she?
He looks over at his shoulder and then back at you. Harrian?
Adair?
Harrian.
Is
No, that's
Harrian
not right.
a familiar name for you?
It is, but I've...
Adair is with you too!
Do you know Adair?
She did.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Did?
When I met her. He says, looking up at the boat,
You know,
assuming
like,
you're still up
do
there.
you,
Hello?
do you normally have an issue between male and females, old man?
Oh, you know my name!
No. I just know what's obvious about you.
Adair, don't be rude. Yet.
You are a druid, yes, brother?
Of course, brother.
Of which circle?
Circle of the Moon. Why are you asking this?
Because I wanted to make sure that the message got to the right person. Too important for a squirrel, she said.
Torvald's gonna hop down too.
Adair is still leaning over the edge of the boat.
A dwarf!
Aye, Torvald's the name. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Hey, Torvald's the name.
Tis and I both.
What's your name?
My name is Furbolg. But now, people call me Ulost Oll'Man.
Oh.
I
Naming
don't think they're calling you
conventions.
that.
Naming conventions are not the Furbolg strong suit. So we take whatever moniker is given to us. And when I showed up, the people said, "Hey, you lost, old man?" And I said, "What?" But they kept saying it. So I took the name.
It's a lovely name.
Thank you.
Of course.
Well, it's nice to meet you. You lost. Kinda hard to say, but
You lost. You. He looks at his shoulder again. Yeah.
Oh, you're precious.
I'm concerned.
Why? Oh, right, the message. Adair,
Yes, old man.
she wanted to give you the message herself, but something went wrong about 5 days ago. And she needed to check it out herself. But she encouraged you. He points northeast and says, "The villagers have said they've heard strange sounds coming from the ruins. A party of elves went to explore them recently. And there's a druid circle nearby. that she says can show you the future.
That actually wasn't part of the message.
It is now.
It is now.
That's fine. That's fine. It is now. Sorry.
So
I'll stay out of it.
looking at Old Man, can I tell? Does he look like he is in good health and actually has some mental faculties left?
No roll necessary. Yes, I'm troubled.
I mean, you're an insightful person, Adair. He's got fungus growing out of his head.
What color is this fungus?
Many different colors.
Okay. Good.
The one he keeps looking at, though, is gray-ish.
Gray? Grayish? Okay. Oh, anything more to that, Old Man?
No, I'm supposed to help you.
Wonderful. Are you...
She's very persuasive.
Yes, I would say she always has been quite persuasive. Are you injured,
What?
Old Man?
What?
Are you injured, Old Man? Are you half deaf,
It's
too?
No,
Feelings.
you lost. You lost, old man.
If you don't mind, I'll just go with Old Man. I think it fits you very well.
And you can be young man. He goes to give you a handshake. He's like, as is custom. And as his hand comes out, it's like the size of a basketball. He puts his hand out, and they, like, well, they're spores now that you're close enough. They retreat back, kind of like almost like a sleeve.
Cool.
Hello.
Hello, and he'll secret magic druid handshake, of course.
Oh, cute.
And then he goes around. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Oh, you know this one. He says, he pulls out a bag. He says, as is custom, in my circle, we play a game called Papa's Got a Surprise. He pulls out a bag.
This is losing it.
I'm not familiar with this game, Old Man.
We give gifts when a quest is completed. My quest was to give you a message.
And Adair will
Close
search
your
himself
eyes.
for something to give him in return, but he has nothing.
Oh,
Okay.
no, it's okay. Only my customs.
All right.
Roll. Put your hand in. Close your eyes and pick one.
Fellow druid, Adair will do it without pause.
Very cool. Roll a d4.
Well, yeah, you haven't wild shaped yet.
I know. I was
waiting
waiting.
for
I was
pause.
waiting for that. Without pause. Yes. That would be a natural 1.
Wonderful. You pull out a little vial that is about that big, and it's got flecks in it. It looks like a healing potion, but it smells worse.
But it looks vile and smells vile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
But
vile.
it's also
vial
a
vial?
healing potion. Congratulations!
It's that bottom shelf healing potion.
It's his homemade ones.
This
I
Comes
made
in a
that.
plastic container.
reminds me a bit of Torvald's ale.
You next, Torvald.
You want me to put my hand in there?
Torvald, I can put you on my
Please.
shoulders if you need.
Oh right, sorry.
What's
He goes
that
down
supposed to
lower.
mean?
Just so
I'm-
you can reach.
I'm nearly 6 foot tall, thank you very much.
There's no way that's accurate.
I mean, I'm 5'6" of the way there. And he'll he just
Stick your hand in. Roll a d4.
Did you say you're 5'6"?
I'm 5'6" of the way there.
Oh, got it.
The 6 feet.
I thought you said you were 5'6". I was like, whoa.
Wait a minute. When did this happen? Yeah.
You pull out a little bag with a dried mushroom in it. He's like, oh! You got one! I picked that one off of here! He points to his, like, rib cage.
You gave me one of your back mushrooms.
It's a rib mushroom!
Is it baby back? Or spare?
It's... I'm not a baby.
Aye, spare it is.
You can eat it whenever you want.
What will it do?
I don't know! I've never had
Alright.
something bad happen, though.
That's promising.
You two, there's only 2 left. He puts his own hand in the bag and puts them behind his back, and he's like, which hand do you want? Papa's got surprises.
The left one. The left one.
A mushroom for you!
Oh, is this also a
one's
rib
from
mushroom?
My neck!
Oh wow.
Congratulations. And a healing potion for you. I didn't get your name. I'm sorry.
Sarah.
Krasara. Krasara.
Yes, it's
Nothing for me then. And Ulost, you see, still back towards the boat. What looks to be a young girl, probably about 12 or so. It's really hard to judge. Wrapped in a rather nice cloak, she's very pale, with pale blonde hair and a red ribbon, and she's smiling sweetly and innocently in your direction.
Is she real?
she's my daughter.
Oh, you
Oh.
have a spawn.
A daughter.
Good for you.
She didn't come from Krasara. She came from the Feywild. I'm pretty sure she's a demon trying to kill us.
Shut up, Torvald. That's
Is that
rude.
true?
Look
Are
at the
you
way
a
the
demon?
cat's looking at her.
I'm not a demon.
Oh, good enough for me.
I didn't mean demon in the demon-y sense.
But they are
Yeah.
correct. I am Fae.
He picks up a twig off the ground and casts druid craft, and it just like sprouts flowers, and then he uses mage hand to pass it up to her. Here you go.
And she takes it, and you watch as frost runs up it, and the flower just wilts and withers.
Cool. The circle of life continues.
And so yeah, she studies this flower for a few moments and tucks the dead flower into her hair.
Oh, and perhaps you use your eyes, craft a little flower or something to give in return.
Don't take anything she gives you.
Shut up,
I can give
Torvald.
him a gift. And she holds out her hands, and this little tiny frost flower forms, and she holds it out to you.
Oh. Is she down on the boat or with you guys?
She's because the boat's up on the shore now. Maybe I'm getting my locations wrong.
Oh, it's up to you. I don't care. I
Yeah.
was just curious. Like, is she like
Yeah.
telepathically like wow, singing me a flower? Or...
No, she'll step
Okay.
down off
Step
the
down.
boat. You watch as the water around her feet freezes, just
Okay.
immediately where it touches.
That is something else. I'm seeing all
if
kinds
you-
of new things today. And he'll put it on some moss and melt the water into the moss.
It says, Kasara,
Yes.
Mommy,
if this man is correct, and
I am. We are.
something here that you must do. The people around these parts are not always friendly to my kind, from stories I've heard. It may be best that I remain on the boat.
If you feel uncomfortable and you think they will harm you, then you should remain on the boat with Amalia. You two can protect each other and watch out, but
I'll keep her safe.
I know you will.
And Aldous immediately raises her hands caught over, like, I'll keep an eye on them.
You have a quest now too.
You see Aldous probably looking warily at Olwen.
That Olwen will behave. Don't freeze anything, please. Keep your dragon hide on.
Of course.
Stay on the boat. Don't go anywhere. I do have the power to ground you. We did discuss this.
He did.
What spell is that?
I'll do it.
Of course. I'll behave myself.
Promise?
I promise.
All right.
Are you sufficiently prepared to head to the ruins? Or do you need to talk to the people in town first?
I need to handle one quick thing before.
Perhaps you would like to pray to the tree. She's quite lovely.
Can I investigate the tree?
Yes, come on! He grabs your hand.
Adair just kind of rolls his eyes and shakes his head.
We're going.
Yeah, if you approach the tree, actually, Sam, I'll put this in your hands. I've already described it as being this large, ancient, lightning-struck oak. But would there be anything else that's distinctive about this particular tree?
Where it is split in the center, it actually kind of has a smoothed, curved out area that looks somewhat like a cradle.
Whoa.
I didn't notice that until you pointed it out.
Adair will walk up to it and take another seed from his pouch, and using druidcraft again, make it flower. It's a moonflower, and we'll place it at the base of the tree and lean against the tree with his hand on it for a moment. Thank you, Mother.
Is that your mom?
Your mother's a tree?
Well, of course it is. Why do you think his name's Treeborn?
That makes so much sense.
Oh, wait, does that mean that cradle is for you?
That is where I was found.
This is your bedroom.
Yes, it
I want to
is.
stay in the bedroom.
Sorry, my dogs are going nuts.
It's not me this time.
No expose, Dad. No, shut up. We learned nothing about your character. Rah, 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 rah.
Secrets will remain.
We introduce my mom and the crowd goes wild. I'm sorry, Chill, I didn't hear what you said.
I said it wasn't me this time. Not my dog this time. Yes.
Yes, this is my mother. I tried to stop by once in a while to say hello. It's been a bit of time.
She
She's
said she was
beautiful.
missing you.
She's beautiful.
I'm
Thank
trying
you.
to figure out the mechanics of it.
How is he a tree?
I am not
Well-
a tree.
Your mother's a tree, so therefore you're a tree.
He's doing some quick calculations.
I think that would make him half tree.
At the very least.
Who's your dad? Wait, Torvald, how did that happen? And she sort of points at Adair. She's trying to be quiet and not rude, but like, how did that? The dad and the mom, how?
I'm not sure, but it makes sense. He's always been a little rough on the outside. Hard to
Like bark.
Yes, a tad wooden at times.
A seed planted with enough love will grow no matter what.
Thank you, old
Can I
man.
grow more? Can we grow more people? Do you think?
Hey, you want more badgers?
Actually, yeah, that could be useful.
Oh shit! I just realized we got badger, mushroom.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, you do.
It's not a
I've been holding on to that, waiting till later.
OG
I'm
internet
waiting
names.
till I introduce the anti-cult that's hiding behind the next tree.
Yeah, great.
Snake.
Oh, this is sick. Wow.
I do not know who my father is.
He was a brave man.
Well, it looks like this was struck by lightning. Maybe your father is thunder.
And
Wow.
Adair will
Y'all are
just flash him
siblings.
this unhappy look.
Siblings.
Siblings!
You could be my half brother.
I doubt it, Torvald, and you know my opinion on the gods.
Are you able to talk to her directly?
No, I've never been able to do that, old man.
Would you like to?
You said Harrion was in trouble.
I look at the tree and I just say, kids. and
Maybe
and
later, if Harrion's in trouble and it's been 5 days. I'm not sure we should spend the time on that.
It's up to you. It would only be a moment. Your choice.
He's going to look around at everyone else who's obviously listening at this.
We can give you some privacy if you'd like.
Did Olwen follow us up to the tree?
I got my spellcasting
No,
focus.
she's on the boat.
Olwen returned.
Oh, wonderful spellcasting focus. Okay, my mind is totally blown now.
Say
I'm
hi.
Hi.
No, Olwen had just returned to the boat. She is remaining on the boat.
Well, I have to admit, with everybody else has moved away, I assume, he will say to Old Man, how do I know that I'm actually speaking to my mother, Old Man?
Are you actually part of a circle, or were your powers gifted?
Both.
In my circle, we work hard and long to learn our spells. Speak with plants is one that is gifted to high-level druids. I can't guarantee you'll be able to understand her words,
Well, I guess
but she will speak.
I guess it's been 40 years. I should try.
He walks up to the plant, or to the giant tree, and how high is the cradle?
It's about 6 feet up.
Nice.
For you, you'd have to reach down
Shoulder,
to it. Yeah.
shoulder height. He walks over and puts his hand on the cradle and holds his other hand out to you.
I'll take his hand.
And I will cast Speak with Plants for the next 10 minutes. Or sorry, for the one action.
All right. All right, so what are you asking the tree that I now have to roleplay as?
You did this. I posted in GM mode what the actual thing is, but you can question plants about events in the spell's area within the past day, gain information for weather circumstances, turns out difficult, blah, blah, blah. That's all combat stuff. Might perform tasks at the DM's discretion. Spell
essentially.
It doesn't enable plants to like do or uproot anything technically, unless you wanted them to. But it shares a common language with me, and but I also have Speak with Plants because I'm a furbolg.
So do I have to speak through you, or is this something that?
I mean, it's imbued with limit.
Yeah, it can
I'll
talk.
say like
With you, and no, it's only with me technically, but.
I'll say in this instance, seeing as Adair is rather in touch with the powers of nature, and I'll say through sort of the conduit of Old Man.
Yeah, I put my hand on that, and as soon as I start to cast the spell, you see the spores swirl around there, and before you can react, they go and up into your orifices. So I should have warned you. And yeah. Do you have anything you want to ask her?
Hello, Mother.
He says hi.
Oh, little one. And you hear this too, Adair. It's not so much. It's more almost like the breath of wind through the branches, rather than words itself. But you understand what she is saying.
I'm sorry, Harrian didn't let me know this was possible.
Harrian.
Oh, keep going. I'll just let you guys talk, actually. I'm just holding. I'm the phone line.
Harrian. This is the little creature. Yes.
Yes.
He did not speak to me much.
But he did speak to you.
Yes. Long ago.
Before I was born or after?
After. Years later, he came here and asked about you. I said they had taken you, and I told him where to find you. He said that he would teach you the ways of the forest, so that you one day might speak with me and might know this forest. As she did.
As she did?
The girl. The one who left you here.
Ah, 2 mummies.
Left me here.
It was long ago. No. Time is hard sometimes to keep track of.
Yes.
Sometimes it feels just one season since she came here. But
It
it must be a while.
It's been many, Mother.
Yes. You're less squishy looking now.
I would like to think maybe I've grown a little stronger. Do you know who she was? Or anything about her?
She had 2 legs.
We know she's not a centaur.
That narrows it down, yes. Thank you, old man.
I am not very good at discerning your kind. She seemed even more in a hurry than normal for the 2-legged people. And she hit me with lightning.
Oh, she didn't like... Oh, I'm starting to lose it. Are you okay?
Are you hurting?
The tree bristles a little more.
No, it's... That seemed to anger
But
her.
I won't hold that against you.
Is there anything you need?
I have water. I have sunshine. I have air. And good soil under my roots. What else do you need?
Sounds good to me, Mother.
It is, my child.
Well, I hope to speak to you again sometime soon, without old men in between.
I would like
I'm
that very
helping.
much.
And you are always my mother.
Uh.
And nothing you say changes that.
I would not suggest otherwise. Come back. And
Oh,
speak
3,
again.
2.
Adair.
Oh, he's still holding your hand, like waving it back and forth. Like, oh, wow, that was great. Was it good for you?
Adair's actually got a tear. Yes.
That was his first threesome.
Oh,
With his mother. I mean, come on.
family moment, you guys.
Not
Come on.
biological.
Thank you. Thank you, old man.
It was a pleasure.
Now I got to make the pun. Well, I'm glad I could pleasure you, old man.
Yeah. It was mutual.
Torvald started it.
It was low-hanging fruit. What can I say?
So,
I'm old.
whilst those two were communing with nature, the three of you, had you walked some distance away?
Yeah, I definitely took my leave and went away from there for a little bit.
And so as you stepped away a little distance, Torvald, I think yours is the highest passive perception. I always need to get it written on my
18.
wall. Yeah. You catch a flash of movement in the undergrowth, just out of the corner of your eye. It's just a flash of something red moving in the bushes. As in, bright red.
And so I just see it out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah, just out of the corner of your eye, just a rustle of something in the bushes and a flash of red colour of something moving.
I'll turn around and kind of like look in that direction. Is there anyone around me?
Well, Ira and Chrysaru are with you, I think.
All right. So as he turns over, what was that?
What was what?
There's something red moving in the trees over there.
The bush rustles a little bit again. There's something burrowing its way deeper inside.
You get your Pokeballs ready.
Oh, what?
Torvald was kind of like Torvald didn't say that. He'll walk closer, kind of just like slowly towards the bush.
Shh! Quiet! Someone's coming! Shh! Shh! You shh! Shh! You hear from the bush.
I can hear you in there. Why don't you just come out and talk to us?
There's no one in here! This is a talking bush!
I think
All
you should
right,
trust
then.
them, Torvald.
Sorry to interrupt. Torvald will kind of like turn his back for a second and still listen.
Do you think they believed it?
Of course I didn't believe you. Who do you think I am? I know you're in there. I saw you moving around. And what kind of imbecile thinks plants can talk?
Well,
What do you think? I'm going to have a conversation with a tree or a bush?
Plants can talk.
I've
Druids
never heard
talk.
them talk.
I once saw druids talking to plants. And the bus rushes again, and you see a child stand up out of it. She looks to be about 8.
we said no more adoptable NPCs.
And
I don't think we're at that part of our relationship yet.
brown hair and 2 pigtails, and she's wearing this, like, little red cape. And there's
Oh,
2 more
jeez.
Russells after her, and you see 2 even
What are
smaller
you doing
children.
going into the woods by yourself, little girl?
I'm not by myself.
What are you on
And
your way
there's
to
2
Granny's house?
No. I was picking flowers, actually. My grandmother lives the other way.
Are you supposed to be picking flowers, or were you supposed to be taking her something?
No, I was. My grandmother lives the other direction. I'm not on my way. Why would I be on my way to my grandmother's?
Just a hunch.
And the two other rustling sounds, you see there's two other children. You can barely sort of see their heads above the undergrowth because they are very small. They don't look like very young children. They just look like very small versions of probably about the same age or so. And looking a bit closer, you see that they look to be gnomes, both of them.
But the one that's out is not a
Human.
gnome. Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't the rest of you come out too?
They are.
Oh, they are? I thought they were hiding.
Can we find a smaller bush next time, Meredith? Can't see out.
Why were you hiding?
Wanted to see what was going on.
Not a whole lot's going on, to be honest.
Isn't that a bit rude?
There's a fungus man by the tree, and then you turned up in a magic shiny boat, and
What
then
makes you think it's magic?
it's shiny, and it's not got any oars.
Math checks out.
Well, so does your forehead, but that doesn't make it magical, now does it?
My forehead's not shiny.
Aye, you're covered in sweat. You must be nervous.
I'm not scared of anything.
I didn't say scared. I said nervous.
You're very tall.
Why, thank you.
No, not you. Are you here? Are you also archaeowatsits?
An archaeologist. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Why did some come through recently?
The last people that came on a big boat were archaeowatsits. I can't remember the archaeologist. I don't even know what
Now you
it
got
is.
it.
Why
We're
are you
not.
blue?
We're here to help. Some druid named Hadian.
Is he the fungus man?
That's not right there. That's Ulost Oll'Man. Confusing, I know, but it is what it is.
Well, and she sort of pulls herself, steps fully out of the bushes now, followed by the two small gnome children. She goes, "I'm Meredith. This is Pip and Lily."
Torvald, nice to meet you.
Gasora.
That's a very big hammer thing.
Why, thank you. I made it myself.
I don't think
Oh, you're talking about hairs.
Why are you blue, lady?
Oh, I'm blue because
She really likes to hold her breath.
yes.
So, as this discussion is going on, by this time, Ulost and Adair, you've sort of come to the end of your conversing with the tree. They're conversing with children.
I'm holding Adair's hand still. I haven't let go, and I'm running. They went that way. We start going through following behind them. So, what the bush? That one. Sorry. Whoops. Pardon me.
You can see Adair being sort of. Adair, are you allowing yourself to be?
I see this anime style that Adair's like a kite behind him.
Billowing in the wind. Yeah.
I will go along with him and old man, I can let go of my hand, please.
We're family now.
But I don't want to accidentally step on something.
Then don't.
It would be easier if I could balance myself.
Did we see this happening, by the way?
Yes.
You have
You hear him coming. His footsteps are like.
You have a larger stride than I do.
up. Carry him in your arms and he won't step on anything.
He says, okay, fine, we'll go separately. But he casts Mage Hand and still holding your hand a little bit.
I can live with that.
We come up behind you guys.
The children take a couple of steps back.
Are you archaeologists?
Torvald looks at the kids. Well,
Yeah.
answer the man.
No.
Have you seen them lately?
They left here ages ago. They were, and she points back past the tree. They went to the ruins. I asked Mummy if I could go and watch, but she said that it was too far and the woods were dangerous. And I said I would behave myself. And then she said there were wolves, and I said that I wasn't afraid of wolves. And then, then she told me no and grounded me.
You should be, because if you see one, that means there's probably 5.
He's not wrong.
No.
Math checks out.
Should we continue to the ruins then?
Are any of these people, Bip, Lily, and didn't get the other name, are they familiar to me
Meredith.
at all?
You would have run into them previous times when you sort of returned to visit the village.
Okay.
You know that Meredith, the girl, sometimes actually goes to visit I keep getting this in it. Goes to visit Riker and Barra.
Okay.
And sort of considers them sort of auntie and uncle. And so you've probably met her a few times, and she has always been a slightly precociously annoying child. Two gnome children you know less well, but you've possibly seen them around the village. There's not many gnomes living in the actual village, but off in the forest around there are.
Okay.
Quite a few gnomes living around.
Meredith.
Yes!
How,
Uncle Adair!
how are Auntie and Uncle at the farm?
They're good. I was actually going to take them some flowers, but I haven't found any flowers. I got distracted. She looks down at her.
Does
She's
old
got an
man
empty basket.
Does old man have any flowers on him?
I have... kind of.
May I borrow a couple of these, old man?
Yes, please. He hunches down, shows his back, and it's just like caked on mushroom flecks and a few like what would it be, like weeds, like dandelions.
Sure, grab a couple of dandelions and use druidcraft to help them blossom into something nice looking.
Into bigger weeds.
Into bigger
Bigger
weeds, of
weeds.
course.
Also, take one of these. Pops off a mushroom.
I'm not sure you should be giving little children mushrooms.
Why?
It's not good for their brains.
That can't be right. Is that right?
Who do you keep talking to on your shoulder?
What?
Do you have a little person on your shoulder? You keep talking to your shoulder.
No. What? Yeah.
Who is it?
My friend.
Does your friend have a name that they would like to share with the rest of the class? I mean, group?
No.
Well, that's rather rude.
Why? Do you normally talk to plants?
Only if I've had a lot of ale, but other than that,
Drinking.
So So do I take the mushroom or not?
You do.
Adair?
Adair will definitely hand all of this to Meredith. So Meredith, why were you following in the woods?
Because there was a weird ship that came and I wanted to see what it was, and I thought it might be more interesting people. And it is like they've got hammers. She's blue, and it's you. Anyway, I told Mummy I wouldn't be gone too long, and I've got to take these to. Shall I tell Riker and Barra that you're coming to visit, or?
Maybe later. Let them know that we're here and everything's good and we're not going anywhere near the ruins.
Okay. Oh, I was told don't go anywhere near the ruins. Yeah.
I heard that, Meredith, and obviously you know me. I'm going to follow that, like you should.
Uh-huh. Well,
Wait.
I'm not afraid of them. I mean, the rocks are just ruins, and the ruins are just rocks.
Meredith, are you trying to tell me that there's nothing I could do to talk you out of going to the ruins? Is that the hint I'm getting here?
No, I'm going. Come on, Lily. Off to Auntie Barra's house.
Bye.
Bye. What?
Another quest completed. We're making very good time.
Into the woods.
As soon as they're gone, I will turn and go. Shall we head to the ruins?
Yes, I think that'd be fun.
You lied to them.
Yes, I did, old man.
Right. I mean, the ruins, Adair, you'd know, are probably about 10 miles or so along the shore. So the quickest way would be to take your boat towards them.
Well, the quickest way for these non-woodsland people, maybe. But...
For non-wood people, or or to take a few hours to make your way.
I have this something in the back of my mind tells me that we should take the boat.
I'm not saying you have to. I was just looking at geography.
It's nothing.
I never tell you what to do. I will just tell you the lay of the land.
It's up to you. It's not going to be an easy journey for you through the woods. These are pretty thick forests.
I suppose we should take the boat.
I've never been on a boat. Come on.
I think that would be lovely.
I mean, he's never been on a ship. Perhaps we should take him with us.
Can we let him fly it?
Do you have parents?
Was that at me?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, all right.
If I don't, can I not fly it? What's the implication?
I
was
don't.
just.
I want him to fly the boat.
I want to fly the boat.
I'm not sure that's the greatest idea.
It doesn't matter. It'll be fun.
But
We're not gonna fly it. Aren't we just sailing?
Let him ride first. Then perhaps in the future he could fly the boat.
Okay.
Wait, so you're letting a stranger just sail your boat?
No.
Dorval's gonna lean over to Adair and be like, "Why do they never listen to us?"
I assume it's a height thing, and he's just going to walk towards the boat.
All right.
What's that supposed to mean?
So you walk back, and Ulost, as you step onto the boat, it rocks a little underneath you, but not as much as your weight would make a normal boat rock.
I have no idea. This is the first time.
The cat hisses at you as you get near, and
Hello.
Are you
That's
growing
a
any
first.
catnip?
backs away, which is, I guess, not how animals you've met normally react.
No, I can normally talk to them. But she's just a bitch.
Meow.
Oh, that's a cat. You're thinking of a dog.
All creatures have their own dispositions. Cats are the closest thing you can get to demons without actually going to hell.
That's not a demon, that's Sindri.
Adair's going to
You
pat
haven't
Old Man
talked
on the
to one.
back. I really like
They're
this guy.
They're actually crazy. If you could understand what she's saying now. Whew.
All right. So you sail your boat along the shore, and it doesn't take you very long before you can see through the undergrowth further onto the shore. A few ruined sort of scraps of stone and wall start coming into view. The actual ruins themselves being sort of further into the forest. But you can see sort of on the shore this sort of muddy sort of beach area. And around it, quite a lot of the undergrowth looks like it's been broken down. Even sort of from the shore, you can tell that people have been here. You can see on this little, like a well-worn path leading up from the shore, a short distance into the woods.
There it is!
Is there any sign of the other boat that Torvald had seen earlier?
No, there is no. There are no other boats around. And listening around, you can just the ristles of the forest, but you can see. You can see actually probably on the shore, sort of where it looks like a boat has been dragged up onto shore, perhaps. But there's no sign of a boat there currently.
Old Man, where
Hi.
did you speak to Harrion?
Near the bridge, I believe.
Yeah, that would have been a fair bit further west, actually, that you would have
Okay.
run into Harriet.
I met her at the bridge-ish in town.
You were in town.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, great.
Every place needs a mushroom.
Do they? Do they, though?
Yeah. This is the spot, though, I believe.
Yeah, so with the boat sort of pulled up against the shore, Aldous will sort of stand by her earlier promise to make sure the boat and all its potentially explosive or freezing passengers
What?
behave themselves. Not you.
I know. I'm wondering what you're carrying.
Torvald will head off the boat towards the...
Amalia just sat at the back, working on her fishing net. Nothing's going to explode here.
Torvald, do you see anything, any tracks or anything?
It looks like there is a boat pulled up right here, but... Do I see any tracks?
I mean, maybe a survival check. Even without it, you can see that there's clearly a well-walked path leading off into the forest.
30-20.
And sort of, bending down to sort of examine the tracks in more detail, it looks like, well, it's hard to be sure because it's really quite well walked and it's rather recent. That perhaps several people have come and gone this way. There's a few different sizes of feet, all sort of sets of booted feet. You'd say at least possibly about 5 or 6 people walked up and down this track, and also dragged things up and down it.
So Torvald will relay all that information, and he'll start walking in that direction. I think we should go this way.
All right.
He'll go like towards where everything was. Kind of...
So heading up, the path winds up between sort of the gnarled branches of the forest. You can see this is very dense woodlands. The ground on either side, you can see there's fallen branches and sort of bracken and briars all over the place. You figure any sort of point off the path is going to be sort of difficult to make your way through. But the path
Possibly
is
terrain-like.
Yes, possibly difficult and terrain-like.
Just as we're walking through, quickly, old man, like, again, talking to like every bush we pass and like running his finger along it, and says, keep an eye out, though. The local people have said they've reports of creatures. And also dreams.
What sort of creatures?
Good question.
Did you say dreams?
Dreams.
Oh, we've already experienced that, I think.
Lucky you. Unless they were bad.
No, it was. I don't think it was neither here nor there, Adair.
So yeah, the path, was that a question to me, or was that just a rhetorical, what kind of creatures?
It was mostly to Ulost, but Kasara definitely wants to know what sort of creatures might be around.
He doesn't know. That's why it was a really good question. I should have asked.
So you're telling us
Make
that
me a
there's
perception check.
creatures in the woods.
Yeah,
Make a what check? I'm sorry.
perception check if you're listening around Krasara. As you're doing that, the path winds up and opens out into a small clearing. And in the center of it, you can see sort of a rough, like, circle of stones, not like a druidic circle, just a arranged circle. And inside it, sort of burnt area of grass and the remains of some burnt branches. And based on that and sort of some areas of grass in the area where it looks like people have trodden it, perhaps flattened it down to pitch a tent in the area. This looks to be potentially the remains of some sort of campsite. Sarah, what did you get?
16.
You can hear something rustling in the bushes, but possibly just small animals. You do hear kind of
It's an ear.
an ear.
That's what we call them.
The bush, or to the bushes, and sort of poke around, just sort of see if she sees anything.
Right. So as you're sort of poking around, maybe an investigation check actually as you're doing that, if you're poking around through bushes.
What are you looking for?
I'm not really sure.
Have a little help. Boop. He throws you some guidance as a spore lands on your nose.
Okay.
At least you're not getting zapped by lightning for guidance. So.
Yeah, a little spore on my nose is definitely better.
Guidance should always be inconvenient.
Do I roll anything different with guidance?
Just an extra D4 on whatever you roll.
Good, because that was a 13. 19. That's 19 with my investigation and the D4.
Okay, we'll get back to that in just a moment. Whilst Krasara is sort of digging around, peering through these bushes, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm blissfully ignorant of my surroundings.
Ira has been trained on Ulost this entire time. She is absolutely fascinated by this man. She's just giddy.
Torvald's kind of just walking around trying to get a lay of the land in general, just like...
You can see that this sort of campsite, the path continues sort of further into the forest beyond. It seems to have opened out at this sort of campsite clearing. I mean, if you're sort of looking around sort of the general area, you can make me a perception check. If you're sort of more like trying to poke and investigate things, that's
more just like general.
I would check out the camp.
Maybe.
And also, I would fix it.
Fix it?
Yeah, they trampled the grass.
25.
Okay. You must make the investigation. And Adair, what are you doing?
I was going to suggest the same thing that Ulost is doing, so I assume we will
All
do
right.
it together.
All right.
Friendship.
You're both doing it together. Make me another investigation.
25, by the way, for my perception.
Okay, yeah. All right.
14.
11.
Okay, so starting with Chrysara. Chrysara, sort of, you were sort of poking around through these bushes. You find someone sort of someone looks to have thrown away what appears to be the remains of a meal down here, like a sort of scattering of gnawed bones and sort of. This looks like someone's been using this as a refuse pit, and you catch the sight of sort of a couple of rats scurrying away. There was definitely something odd looking about those rats. Only for a moment, but as one of the rats turned to you, this is a look directly at you, and there was a taunting manner as it scurried away, making a decidedly weirdly unrat-like noise.
Sora's gonna take her hat, and so Adair doesn't hear cough badger, and squeeze out a rat. And see if it will pop those other rats. See what happens.
A rat drops from the hat, and
Oh shit, that's a good item. I know that thing.
Sniffs around some of the refuse and gnaws at one of the bones for a minute, and then its ears sort of prick up, and it scurries off into the undergrowth in the same direction the previous rat went.
I'm gonna follow.
All right. So, Chrysara, you head off following rats.
Split the party!
Torvald, meanwhile, looking around, the forest seems rather still and quiet. You can sort of hear the wind through the trees. There doesn't seem to be much sort of natural noise going on. And looking up, you feel something rather than see. You can always feel a sense that something out there is watching. And then you catch sight of movement sort of further up on the path that leads further into the woods. There's something small that scurries up the path heading that direction. And you see this small line of rats just scurrying back up this path.
Torvald's gonna relay that information, and he's gonna go over to Adair and say, "Oh, Adair's not there."
All right, before we get to that, so Adair and Ulost and Ira watching Ulost.
Every like 15 seconds he looks over and sees you looking at him and just says, "Hello!" And then, every time, like until
Hello.
you aren't looking at him.
She'll just always repeat it back.
Adair sort of poking around the ruins. I mean, you're probably more focused on repairing the camp remains than doing a very thorough investigation, but you do discover towards the edge of the clearing, you find a book that seems to have been left behind. It's looks slightly damp, as though it's been left in dewy grass, but in good condition. It doesn't look like it's been there very long. It's leather-bound, quite expensive-looking book. And embossed into the cover is Eldon's Rise by Dravin Nilo. How an empire was born from ashes, in much smaller font underneath.
Oh, good. I was afraid it was a romance novel for a moment there.
Oh God! I can see how you would reach that misconception. I should name my historical texts more carefully. Well, you've not read it yet. It could still.
It could still be.
An empire was born in sweat and butter.
Actually, take that back a moment. I'm not sure you can read the title. What languages do you speak, Adair?
Common, Druidic, and Giant.
In fact, please erase what I just said from your memory. and we reran. You pick up a book,
Can read giant.
Adair will pick it up and
And
go, I think I found a romance novel over here somewhere.
and in this curling elven script, it says something on the front.
I can read it.
You lost. You've done a slightly better job of digging around, but it's still sort of, the grass is springing up brighter and lighter. And where one of the tents had been pitched, where it's clearly flattened down the grass the most, you find sort of half trampled into the mud beside that a loose sheath of paper.
So Ulost is extremely oblivious to most things all the time. So when he's doing that, instead the spores themselves like highlight it like a video game, like swirl around. He's like, "What? Oh!"
Actually,
picks it up.
Ira, as you're watching Ulost, you see these spores swirling around this piece of
And
paper.
light up, yeah.
Ding! A little exclamation mark, and
I found something.
Wow.
It's paper.
Very interesting. What does
Wet
it say?
paper.
it is damp and it's muddy and it has writing on it.
Is it
What's
Elvish?
It is Elvish.
Oh.
I
Do you
read
read it?
Elvish. I do. Furbolgs intrinsically read it.
I also read
Okay.
Elvish, so I can look over your shoulder.
Oh, we can read together. You read
Yes.
one word and I'll read the next.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be fantastic. I'm going to
Can we
put
do
this.
it, please?
We don't actually have to do that.
Oh, I want to so bad.
Okay. All right.
One of you read it. There is quite a lot of text. I'll put it in. I'll put it in here for everyone. I'm going to put in the Zoom one because. Oh no, it won't let me go. Hang on. Bear with me one moment.
This
It's not
person's
letting me.
calligraphy is terrible.
It's hard to read. This muddy.
I guess he was an archaeologist. The scientific type always writes so fast.
So yeah, it seems to be it's scrawled and it's muddy writing. But if I'm happy to read it out, or one of you can read it if you would like to.
I'd be happy. Did you put it in Zoom?
It's in
Roll-
it's in
Roll
roll
20.
20
Oh,
now.
it's in roll 20. Okay.
It wouldn't let me put it in Zoom.
Wow,
It
there's
was
a
too long.
lot.
Oh yes, it is quite. Okay.
You read one paragraph, I'll read the next.
Sure, I'll start. Grimnest second. The locals are less than helpful. They regard the ruins with great superstition, but seem to know little of their history. The adults keep their distance from us, though a few of the children have taken to following Urine around.
Urine.
Urine? I think it's the shiny armor. Okay, you next.
And he reads it in Elven. Que sores, eres coras, roskis oras eris seres. Os queres oras. Que fores kiris. Ki core. Tiro santare. Your turn.
Okay. Grimnest fourth. We unsealed the well and descended into the chambers beneath, finding the tombs surprisingly intact and many of the larvae still viable.
I think
Shortly-
you missed a number. You went
Huh?
straight from 2 to 4.
No, he read the third one.
We read it in Elvish. How's that supposed to help us?
Well, it helped me.
You don't, I'm sorry. Forgive my ignorance. And he reads it in common. I posted it in in chat for all of chat, so they couldn't have to assume.
Excellent. Okay, I was in the middle of 4, correct? Yes. Surprisingly intact and many of the larvae still viable. Shortly after we found the assimilation chamber, Bryn wandered away in the darkness, and despite several hours of searching, we were unable to locate him. Okay, you again.
Grimnest, 5th. The hunt for Bryn continues. Oh, it turns out that the tunnels may not have been as empty as we hoped. He looks around at you guys like, whoa. Philo has seen things moving in the darkness, and Lucian has entirely lost her wits. Wow.
Grimness 6th. Again, we descended the well to seek a Bryn, though hope is fading. Euron had a near miss with some form of sentient slime that had made its home at the tunnel entrance. Luckily, Aramil was on hand with the necessary spells. Much as I dislike his smug attitude, I must admit it is good that at least one of us knows magic. Sadly, the tunnel was further collapsed by this incident, and we lack the means to clear it. Okay, you read the last one.
Oh, it's me!
Yes.
We must... Wait, Grim Nest 7! He looks at all of you like, we must accept Bryn is lost to us. Oh, perhaps down the tunnel there is, before its collapse. Philo or Philo suggested we return home. However, Aramil and Gwyll, wow, these naming conventions, are eager to press to the city itself. This is why we don't use them in our culture. I'm conflicted, much as I fear what awaits us in the Lemadori. Oh, that's the ruin. No, that's the bigger ruins. I fear more how Vendelion would react were we to return empty-handed. And seen.
Wow.
That was fun.
And that is all there is. So whilst you two are reading this, and Torvald and Adair there, Chrysara has wandered off into the forest following a rat, or following several rats.
And you see him. Yeah, it's you lost again. Like a compass, and just the spores swirl and make like a little point towards where she ran into the woods. It's like, what?
You didn't see. Chrysara, as you're sort of making your way through and sort of over undergrowth, following the trail of these rats, more rats running out to join them now. There's definite line of these rats moving through the forest. And as you follow them, you find it leading out into a second clearing. This one appears to have the remains of some ruined structure in the center of it. And you realize you've possibly wandered a fair distance from where the others were. And you can see in the clearing of these trees, scurrying this way and that across the stones, this whole large swarm of rats scurrying around the front of the ruins. And so this scurry and chitter, you hear something in the back of your mind. You hear, "Hello, have you come to bring us food?"
Sure. Who are you?
"We are not quite sure." And this swarm of rats sort of scrambling sort of over the stones and through the grass towards you.
Oh.
Looking up at you now.
Hello to all of
"Hello."
you.
And then you hear, "We could eat it. It's very big. We could eat it."
I'm
We
not
can eat it.
edible.
All of this sort of in your head, in your mind, these thoughts flickering through. He goes, "Well, I think that is good. We have decided to eat you."
What? No, hold on. I have food that I have brought for you. So you don't eat me. And I'll crouch down and I'll take some of the like dried jerky and some bread out of my pack and put it on the ground for them.
Did you say you go prone?
No. No, still down.
This swarm of rats descends on your food and starts gnawing away at it.
share, and I'll clap my hands real loud. Come on, share.
And you notice that your rat that you summoned from your hat is there and has seemingly joined the rat collective.
Uh-oh. You just got pipe of the sewer.
And as she's yelling share, they just go, "You can turn back time."
So as the rats are making short work of the food you've brought, there are rather a lot of them. What are you doing, Chrysara?
I'll pull out a little bit more just to make sure there's enough for everybody so they don't decide to eat me. Because I'm a little concerned that I'm the only member of my party over here with this.
And they just for the reference, just pop yourself on the map, would you?
Oh God.
Just for reference, roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier.
Oh, no, not yet.
And possibly anything that would apply a barbarian gets for.
So you're probably somewhere around here where you've come sort of up out the forest from this direction.
Yeah, I was about to say, where did I come out of?
Yeah, so you probably came out through this gap in the trees down here.
Okay.
It means you're somewhere around here. I'll let you.
Yeah, it's doing the thing again where it doesn't like to give me my token.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Well, whilst we're doing that, back down at the campsite, Ira and Ulost have finished their dramatic reading of the diary page, and you notice now that Chrysara isn't there anymore.
Yeah. You think we should probably follow these rats? I saw them go up there. And I'll point towards where I saw all the rats.
I'll go wherever you want me to.
Good.
Adair will walk over to where Chrysara last was and take a look there as well.
Okay, so looking at where Chrysara last was, you can see it looks like someone's headed off in the forest. If you want to follow that way, make me a survival check.
First off, I see the bones. Do they look like animal bones or people bones, or?
They look like sort of small animal bones. Like it's a mixture of sort of chicken bones and that sort of thing. It looks to be most likely, meal remnants rather than anything more sinister. But you can make me a nature check if you want to be very certain what is.
Just a rough check because I'm trying to find Chrysara. So the survival check was 23.
Okay, so you could very easily follow her through the forest to where she is communing with her rat horde.
Totally. Is that new Chrysara art? I don't think I've seen that one. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, so Adair, are you following off in Chrysara's?
I assume Torvald's going the same way ahead of me since I moved down, or I don't know who's ahead of who.
Yeah. Ulost is a beacon of which way to go. his spores form a spear of like a directional compass. He's, what this? No, this way. Oh, he's pulled forward.
Yeah, I think Torvald would have been ahead of me down the trail, but I would follow along.
And Ira, are you following along with as well?
Yes.
Right.
I'll go ahead and follow.
So following along this track, you hear Chrysara's voice probably before you see her. And you hear this.
Oh, more ears.
Response. And emerging out of the forest, you see Chrysara surrounded by a very large swarm of rats that are just sort of finishing devouring the food that she'd put out for them.
Oh, that's not normal.
Are you still hungry? I've given you quite a bit of food.
More food? Is there more?
I have a bit more. Can start telling me some names. Where are you from? I will give you some more.
I lean over while we approach to Torvald and Adair and like, is she ignorant?
Well, she's something all right, that's for sure.
And Ira's there too, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Christopher, you might want to step back a little bit.
No, it's all right. They're my friends.
No, they're not.
Little ones, are you my friends? More food.
We are your friends. As long as you keep feeding us.
As long as I keep giving them food, they're my friends.
That's not how friendship works, Kursara.
Hey, that sounds pretty one-sided to me. It's an unhealthy relationship.
Are they friends or food?
They're friends.
You hear in the back of your mind as the rats sort of prick up their ears and turn to look at the approaching people.
They are friends. Friends, stand down. My new rat army, stand down.
We can hear her talking, but we can't hear them, right?
Yeah, you can't hear them. You can only hear her
Is she
talking to her.
normally able to talk the speech of beast?
I'm pretty sure she can't.
Your friend is in trouble.
I'll take some more bread and crumble it up and throw some breadcrumbs out to him, kind of like you feed chicken.
Our friend is trouble, old man.
And the rats focusing their eyes on you now. They stop all at once. And then there's a brief moment where every rat goes still, and then
Uh-oh.
they turn. You see their little heads turning as they're looking at, and you hear Kursara. You hear in the back of your mind, you hear, "Oh, what a shame! She was feeding us. Well, if we must."
Oh.
Hold on.
And
I have more food. I have meat.
the rats all at once start to surge their way towards Kursara. And I think we're going to take a break a bit early this week. And when we get back, we will be in initiative.
Yay!
No.
Luckily, you managed to stay until you got friends. That might have gone.
All right.
You might have found just the gnawed bones of a barbarian.
I thought you said Nord when you said Nod. I thought you said.
It may
I
fit
heard
both.
Nord. I was like, no.
All right. Going to break. Be back in 10.
Whoa, I missed it. Where are they gone?
What's funny is I was
dead.
sitting here doing the countdown, and then I realized I was muted and nobody could hear me, and I'm like, ah! Hi.
Oh, no. Iris run into the woods as well.
Ira and Kursara have run into the woods. Okay,
Consumed
so
by the swarm.
we have a 10-minute break, but we got distracted looking at people's children and dogs. It made it essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like real life.
So before the break, our party had met made a new friend. They had set off into the woods to investigate some local ruins. Kursara followed a trail of rats into the woods, briefly made friends with the rats. But then, all of a sudden, the rats froze. They turned their heads, and then they started scurrying towards her. And as that happens, you lost. What would you like to do about this situation? You see the swarm of rats turn on Kursara.
He doesn't say anything except for what he said before. It was like, your friend's in trouble. Those aren't normal. It's like, I'm going to help, just a moment. And he puts his hand on one of the bigger branches, like 9 feet up in a tree, breaks it off and says, I'll give it right back, I promise. And casts Shillelagh as he pulls off a branch that's about 8 feet high. It's just a huge club. And vines wrap around it. And he says, I'm coming. And I'm going to walk forward menacingly.
Okay, so you walk forward menacingly towards the rat swarm. You see them skittering and scrabbling round on the ground in front of you.
And I look at them and I say, "Last chance."
And they, looking at these, there is something off about these rats. The eyes almost seem to glow. There's a gleam of intelligence there behind them. This is some unnatural thing going on here. They're not parting, and they don't really seem to be paying much attention to you. They are more intent on swarming towards Krasara.
"Krasara, they're gonna eat you," he says as he brings his club down on top of these creatures. I'm going to just double check, make sure that's doing the thing it's supposed to be. Yeah. I'm going to cast Shillelagh on my weapon.
Yep.
And then as part of the action, as Shillelagh, the vines whip around like thorns. And then part of the action, I'm going to cast Green Flame Blade as well, as they burst with like this fire that pops out of it in the form of spores. As it whips around, he just goes, "Sorry!" and swings down into them in a giant mess.
Green Flame Blade, is that part of the action itself then?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's an actual part of the attack.
Awesome.
Yeah. 13.
You strike down to the center of this swarm of rats, and you hear the squelch of at least one rat beneath your club. Roll me damage, please.
It's a lot. So the first one is magical because it is Shillelagh. So the first rat swarm as the club comes down takes 13 because of the green flame blade, and the flame jumps over and does 3 to this one.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, but you could also leave if you wanted. And then I'll use my reaction to use Halo of Spores. Ignore all that shit except for the 1d4. So they need to make a con save of 15.
Okay. As you do, you hear in the back of your mind, you hear, "We cannot! Must devour you!" That is a definite failure on that con save with a 3.
So the first dude in front of me takes magical damage. The total amount of damage done was 14, 15, and then this guy took 3 fire damage up in the north.
Okay. So was that 14, 15, and 3?
Yeah.
So 14 to the first swarm? Sorry.
Sorry, it's a lot. I'm
No, hang on.
front-loaded for DPS unlike most druids.
Could you point me out again which one took which damage?
The first one here
Yep.
took 14 damage,
Yep.
and then this one took 3 damage.
Okay. The first swarm, so around your feet there's now this scattering of dead rats, and just a few still alive, and they prick their ears and turn back to you and away from Krasara.
As the swarm comes through and like fills up their lungs, and a few of them just flop over. Yeah. I'm helping.
Rats scattering the ground around you. So Krasara, as rats start exploding around your feet,
They're going to kill
and
you.
are continuing to scurry their way towards you. It's your turn, Krasara.
I am going to jump up and jump backwards a little bit, but I am definitely going to rage because I'm really pissed. I fed them food and they're turning on their master, and I'm also going to reckless attack.
Which of the part of the swarm are you going for?
The ones directly in front of me.
Those ones?
Hold on, my computer's getting stupid. Yes. Yeah. So reckless attack, okay, advantage. That's a 12. Please be a better roll. Oh, thank God, that is a nat 20.
All right. Hey. Okay. roll me a lot of dice, please. No, you're not a paladin. You don't get quite as many dice on it.
All right, so I'm going to attack them with my maul. And I am just gonna be like,
Splat the rat?
because that at every rat I can possibly get to. Okay, so that is
Which one are you attacking?
the ones in front of me.
They're all in front of you.
Well, they're all of them.
The north one.
Still scurrying and swarming towards you.
9, 10. So that is 10 and plus 2 of my fire damage because I did activate that with my rage. So
Okay.
You already used your bonus action, right? To rage?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, because with Great Weapon Master, if you crit, you get another attack too.
I did reckless. I didn't. I keep forgetting my Great Weapon Master because, blonde. That's 12. So that'd be 14 with fire.
Wait, is that bonus action, the Great Weapon Master extra attack, or is it just...
I don't know.
Just,
you have to
anyway.
I think it's bonus action. I think you can use your bonus action to do another attack if you crit or if you kill something.
Yeah, it is a bonus action if you score a critical hit with melee or reduce to 0.
Yeah.
But you're raged.
Alright. So, rats battered into the ground as this swarm scurries forwards. And it's not disappeared, it is now scurrying up and over Krasara. And as this swarm scurries up over Krasara, and more of it swarms and, well, I say swarms onto Ulost. There's probably about 3 rats scrambling up, and amongst the rest of the ecosystem that is Ulost.
They're like, maybe we can live here.
So how many, like, if there's just like 3 rats, how many rats roughly did they start with?
I'm not calculating rat numbers at the moment. They're moving around a lot. It's hard to count.
Like less than 25% of them remaining.
Yes, definitely. There's not very many rats remaining.
Okay. And what about the other group that's on Krasara?
Less than half are dead on the ground. The majority of the rats are on Krasara now. And the largest swarm of rats start scampering away from Krasara. You can take an attack of opportunity against the rat swarm as it scampers away from Krasara towards the rest, if you wish.
I got my reaction back. Nine magical bludgeoning damage.
Krasara, did you attack them or no? Was that a no? Or
sorry,
you don't have to.
Oh yeah, I can get them. Twist them like Coke bottles.
All right, what did you roll? Did you? And once you roll that, the swarm that's scampered up onto Ulost is going to attempt to try and bite at you.
Eat up, little ones.
It's an unnatural 20 to hit.
That does.
My dice got better. So the last few remaining rats scamper, but there's not many of them left. You take 7 points of piercing damage as their little tiny rat teeth gnaw their way into your legs mostly.
Nothing to joke about.
Krasara, what did you get?
I got a 12.
You just managed to sort of strike a blow at the rats as they're scurrying away from you. Roll me the damage on that. Meanwhile, the ones that are scurrying their way up you, sort of scrabbling and scratching and biting at you.
If I'm using them all, that's 11 damage.
All right. It's 16 to hit for the ones scurrying up you. Does that hit?
16. Unfortunately.
And they think they had advantage. They had advantage anyway, so they would have hit. So yeah, the scratching and scrambling away. That is 15 points of piercing damage.
I have
might be
foot piercing.
Yes.
Because I'm raging. Ha!
So that is 7 points of piercing damage, as you barely even noticed some of these rats. Too busy being angry. It's the largest of the swarm scurries its way down towards Ira, Torvald, and Adair. And as it scurries its way down towards you, I think you feel this sort of chittering and scrabbling in the back of your mind. Oh, it's like a swarm of tiny squeaking voices chittering away to each other. And I'm going to need each of you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Who?
Torvald, Adair, and Ira.
Wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
All right.
22.
That is success.
25.
That is a success.
Well.
Uh-oh.
That is not a success.
No.
Ira, your head is full of these little squeaking voices, and you can hear in my go sort of go left, no, go right, bite, no, left a bit, right a bit, as this cacophony of arguing voices and direction. And as it comes around to your turn next, Ira, I need you to roll me a d10, please. You go left, no, right. Keep in direction, please, people. What did you get?
A 1.
A 1. Okay.
Oh, right. Never mind.
That's all right. Roll me a d8 as you
Two.
Ira starts just running off straight past Ulost, and Ira can hear your mind go,
Hello!
left, right, no, not her. We're not watching. She's not one of us. She's not part of us. No.
I'm a rat now. I am one with the rats.
You're one with the rats. And I'll be with you a sec. My roll 20 just completely crashed out. But essentially, for the time being, you are under the effects of a confusion.
She knows something we don't.
And sorry, as my roll 20 just quickly reboots, whose turn is it next?
Torvald.
All right.
Yep, I'm after Ira.
Torvald, it is your turn.
All right.
Is there a condition for what I'm experiencing right now? Or am I just confused?
It is confusion. It is the, I think, essentially pretty much the effects of the confusion spell.
Got it.
The pack of rats that's here is the largest one, correct?
Yes.
All right. Torvald's gonna kind of run around the rats to the other side, and
Oh, so Ira, you get another wisdom saving throw. Sorry, Torvald, continue.
All right. 15-foot box would hit these three, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then Torvald's going to go over there, and he's going to stomp his foot on the ground and say, "Thunder! I call on your aid!" and cast Thunder Wave at the first level. And it's
Okay.
a Constitution saving throw, DC 16.
So that is for the rats and Krasara and Ulost.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Ira, what did you get on your wisdom save?
24.
having run away, headed away of the confusion has faded from your mind. You've succeeded from extricating yourself from the rat collective. And wisdom saves for rats. That is 14, 15, and the 16.
Whoa!
All right, so one of them passed.
Okay, so the rats sort of on the ground beside you, and the rats on Ulost's feet is shaken by this. Ooh.
So much that the camera gets shaken.
So much that I knocked
My
my laptop.
immersion.
I know. But the ones on Cressara are sort of clinging on onto her. How much damage was that?
That is a good question. That's gonna be 8 thunder damage.
And it's halved, right?
For the save. And if they didn't save, they get pushed 10 feet.
Okay, well,
As you see this wave of just force come out from Torvald in all directions.
the wave of force pushes this swarm of rats sort of back towards Adair and sends a couple of dead rats just flying off Ulost as the last of that swarm is dead.
Goodbye.
Dead rats flying through the air. The ones on Cressara still seem to be clinging on quite well, and there's still a fair few on the swarm that is in front of Adair's feet now. As we come round to Adair's turn.
He will go primal savagery, claws and all, and just attack the swarm that is at his feet. And do horribly at it, because that's a 9.
Yeah, they're moving, they're scrabbling everywhere. You can't manage to get a good strike at them. Is that everything?
That's all I can do, yes.
All right, you lost. The last of the rats that were on you are now deceased rats. What would you like to do?
I would like to. Is anyone else whelmed?
Cressara is being scrabbled at by rats. Iris sort of run past you.
Hello, he says again as he runs back over here. He's like, "I'll help, brother." And I will do my big old bat swing as I come up the whole thing. Like I said, it's like a 75-pound branch. He's just dragging behind him, like, "Here it comes! Watch out!" It comes up and over.
Next up on Splat the Rat Championships.
Yeah. Shillelagh and Green Flame Blade. Shillelagh lasts forever. Green Flame Blade I have to keep casting.
Yeah.
Part of the action. And I missed too. Oh, look, we're doing the same, he says to you as I get a 9 as well.
The rats sort of scurrying and scrabbling. And in the back of your mind, you can, both of you can sort of hear left, right. Okay, we've got this formation down. And dodge and swing round.
And I will use my reaction to force them to make another con save.
That is a 14.
That's a failure, as I killed 2 of them. Not actually killed them, I just rolled 2 damage. And just like I picture each rat is an HP. Each one of them, just 2 of them die.
Just
I'm helping, he says, and he looks over at you.
Alright, Cressara, you're still covered in rats. What would you like to do?
Embrace it.
Get the nail off of me!
Oops, I accidentally crossed off the rat token I was using, but they are after Cressara. Every time. Every time.
So are they in front of me? They're all on me.
They are on you. They are
You can
in
still
your
hit 'em,
space.
though, I
They
think,
are
right?
around your feet. You can hit them. It's the ones around your feet probably more easily. Let's say the ones that I'd probably actually going to give you disadvantage to try and hit them with a maul.
Just throw them all in the air and hold your chest open. Like, come on.
No, I'm gonna be like grabbing at them and trying to get them off. Question.
Yes.
Are snakes considered vermin? Technically?
Snakes or rats?
Snakes would be considered vermin, possibly. Whether the hat does snakes, you don't know.
Okay. Light bulb or candle in this instance. While I am hopping around trying to get them off, I'm going to grab my hat, stick my face in it, and yell, "Log Badger!" and hope a snake comes out as I'm sitting here shaking.
Okay. So, I'm going to say make me an athletics check for rat removal.
Okay. Oh, okay, good. Please be good. See, that's a 17.
Okay, you managed to roll. What's your strength modifier?
Strength modifier +2. And if I'm still in, I get extra if I'm.
Yeah, it's an extra. Yeah. You managed to sort of pull off a good, I think about a good sort of half a dozen rats flinging off you, and you scream to this hat and you hold it up. A rat drops out.
Yeah. Put the hat back on my head.
Looks around.
Stop.
And then you see its sort of eyes sort of gleam with the same gleam that the rest of the rat swarm has. The rats you've tossed away, you hear them crunching against the ground. But yes, you have slightly decreased the rat swarm, and then increased it a little bit again. The rats that are still on you, Chrysara, scrabbling. I can't do words tonight.
I think you're wording wonderfully.
Struggling to get a good bite on you because that is only a 10 that they rolled there, so I don't think.
One better than us, I say to Adair.
The rats swarm down in front of
Hi, Mama.
it's going to scramble for Adair, scurrying up him. You lost. You do get an attack of opportunity should you
I would, absolutely. It would be my pleasure.
And the swarm is going to attempt to try and bite at Adair. This swarm is slightly more effective. That is an 18 to hit Adair.
Unless I crit and kill them.
Yes, unless you crit and kill them.
No. I didn't crit and kill them.
No, but there's many less rats scurrying up him than there would be otherwise.
I'm helping.
At least you didn't nat one and kill me, so we're good.
That is 10 points of piercing damage, Adair.
Oh, whoops.
Actually, no, wait.
Reduced.
Yes.
No, it's 20.
4 points of piercing damage because there are not enough rats.
I like that number better, so I'll go with that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Ira, you have control of your faculties again. What would you like to do?
Yes. Ira is going to shake her head. There's still just rats on Chrysara?
There are rats on Chrysara, yes, and there are rats on the ground. Well, no, there's rats on Chrysara and there's rats on Adair.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I will just go ahead and go up to Chrysara.
And a token for covered in rats, but
yes. And I'm uncomfortable trying to slice them off, so I'm just gonna try to grab them and throw them away, against the wall.
Okay, make me
a grapple, maybe.
Yeah, make me a grapple check.
Sure.
Okay.
Grapple is still athletics, correct?
Yeah, it's athletics versus rat acrobatics.
Sure.
One does a first assault, and probably lands directly into your hand with that roll.
Excellent. Yes, I got a 16.
All right. So what's your strength modifier?
My strength modifier is 2.
All right, so you manage to sort of tear off and fling some of the rats away from Krasara. There's still, almost a dozen or so rats scurrying on the ground around her and up onto her, and there's one that's in her hair. And same with Adair. Torvald, what would you like to do?
Torvald's going to call down two bolts of lightning next to Krasara to hit those rats as I cast Toll the Dead.
Alright. Rats are not wise.
My head just went to like call lightning. I was like, is he just TPK?
No.
I'm sick of you all.
Just the Toll the Dead flavor.
Everything is lightning with Torvald.
Everything's lightning. Doesn't matter what
Thunder
it is. Guidance,
lightning.
lightning. Healing, lightning. Lightning.
That was a failure for those rats, so...
Alright, it's gonna be 8 necrotic damage.
Ooh. There's really not very many rats left on Krasara now.
I rolled 2 4s on D12s. Come on.
Hey. Is that everything?
Yep, that's everything.
Adair, as I have said, you're covered in rats. What would you like to do?
Well, to begin with, Primal Savagery again, because, Oh, well, that one's a tad bit better this time. That is going to be a 23.
That will hit. You can start clawing at these rats.
And that is going to be 10 acid damage.
Okay. That's you managed to tear off the rest of the rats on you. You are now 100% rat-free. And the only sort of remaining rats are the last few still scrabbling around Krasara.
Then I will take my movement and move over towards Krasara. Be ready for next time.
And Ulost. It's background here.
What? Background what?
It's your turn.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were adding something else. I'll walk over here and I will say, Ira. I'm saying that right. Ira, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Ira, Torvald, hold her arms out. I'm gonna get the ones under the armpits. And I'll ring up my club and I'll just say, stay really, 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 really still.
You better
Keep
not
rolling
miss.
on.
I'm a professional rat killer. Yay!
All right. I mean, you can roll damage if you wish here.
I will, just because I like big numbers. Wow!
Essentially, I will leave it to you to narrate how you expertly remove these 4 rats.
The giant club comes like within an inch of her, and then the club stops like right in front of her, and multiple vines spring out and just like pierce the ones right next to her or that are climbing on her individually, like pinpoint. I got them, he says, shakes them off, and then walks back over to the tree and puts the giant branch back on and casts druid craft and puts it back. Sorry, thank you.
And as the rats, the last rats die, you hear just vaguely in the back of your mind a squeaking. You tried the best. Oops. And you are out of initiative as the rats lie dead and scattered on the floor around you.
Don't worry, I'll bury these ones. I start collecting them all up.
There are a lot of rats.
I collect them. You guys
Like
do
a
whatever you
mound.
want for the next 10 minutes.
Or leave them to be eaten and complete the circle, brother.
My circle is different than yours.
I'll help him just to help speed the time.
It's not something I
Okay.
like. I just like you guys talk. I was going to just do this in the background.
So, could anyone else hear those squeaky little jerks and voices in their head, or was that just me?
No, it was me, and they made me run, and I couldn't control it, and it was very frightening.
They
DM?
weren't normal rats. They were
DM,
different.
does this experience of the voice in our head seem similar to any other experience we may have had recently? I think you're muted.
I'm tracking my way back, trying to think. Hang on.
I'm thinking of our dream sequence scenario where we had certain voices when we approached a certain thing, and there were certain people doing certain stuff.
These voices were much squeakier and more rat-like than that.
Okay, go.
It didn't sound like the same voice.
Well, I wasn't thinking the same voice, but I meant the same type of...
It's something I could chill in the back of your mind. Probably does make you recall that dream in a way. And a brief memory of that glowing pool. And to be honest, the growing pile of rats possibly starts to remind you of the piles of bones you walked through.
As you
Okay.
just make that connection, Ulost looks back and says, "Got them all!" Big pile. Puts his hand deep into it, and just like these mushrooms start to pop out of the corpse pile.
Torvald's gonna kind of walk over towards this thing. whatever it is.
So it's sort of this ruin of a building. The stones overgrown with sort of mosses and lichens. You can still see like two broken off pillars standing by the entrance, these steps rising up from the grass. It looks like it's almost sunken a little. And the pavers of this internal area sort of cracked and slightly higgledy-piggledy. And in the centre, what there looks to be some sort of well, a raised circular circle of stones. When you peer down, you can see this dark shaft descending. I was trying to think of another word. But no,
The
no,
fact that you
just-
struggled with it
Too late.
makes it even better.
you see a shaft descending into
You
darkness.
struggled with the shaft.
I'm just going to own the shaft now.
As you should.
Yes. On the shaft.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who found higgledy-piggledy a bit funny.
Right?
I was thinking that's the name of my
Fucking
next character.
higgledy-piggledy.
My next character is Higgledy-Piggledy.
You know, like all over the place,
I'm
higgledy-piggledy.
trying, because I'm the guest star, I'm trying not to like jump in too much, but we're just gonna let higgledy-piggledy fly? Is this a thing you guys are just okay with?
Have you never heard that before?
Jesus.
Not since I was
No.
about 3. Maybe 4.
I mean, for me, it was always Wibbledy-Wobbledy. You know.
Look,
I'm more of a
wibbly-wobbly,
bibbidi-bobbidi kind of guy
higgledy-piggledy,
myself.
kind of
Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
Cracked.
Wibbly-Wobbly.
cracked and crooked.
Anyway.
Yes, Torvald, you can see this this well shaft going downwards.
What do I see?
Well, looking down, you've got good eyes in the darkness, and you can just make out, I think, the bottom of this well. I think it's about 50 feet deep or so. So we just about make out the bottom. You can't see any water though. You can see sort of ground at the bottom. And running down the side of it, it almost looks to be sort of indents, sort of almost like drilled holes into the stone where it looks like there perhaps was something affixed to the side of it. But there's no sign of any ladder or anything now. What there is a small knot of rope near the top. It's been sawn off, so it's just like a rope sort of wedged into the top stones. Looks fairly new and recent, but the length of the rope's been cut off.
Well, Torvald will relay that information, and he'll turn to everyone else and say,
Why do you think the rats were coming over here? Do you think this is significant?
I think so. It sounded as if they were being almost given instructions by someone or something. I heard when they were talking to me, they were upset about having to attack me because I was feeding them. So someone or something told them to start the attack. Whoever that was, either they're afraid of us or they're hostile.
Hey, and I had the feeling we're being watched as well.
Hello.
Not by you.
Oh.
Old man?
Hmm.
But I agree. Something is watching us. Something new to give them orders to attack. I had assumed the rats were telling them, but I'm not certain. I don't really know how these things work.
You see Ulost look around. He's like looking into the woods, and the spores again, just like a compass, go down into the well. And he's like, "Oh, we're supposed to go this way." And he just starts climbing down.
I like that. You've just become like a video game NPC.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
directing
helping.
Once again, out of the corner of your eye, you faintly think you see a yellow exclamation mark above his head.
NPC man.
Ulost is stupid. The spores are really smart.
Quick, he's being attacked by an exclamation point. Beat it to death.
He's under some sort of status effect.
Should we follow him?
Well, I guess we're going down the hole.
Ulost, make me an athletics check for clambering down this well.
Okay.
The stones are slippery, moss covered, and
Before I would have moved up
also
here by
the
now, so I'm going to go ahead and move my token too.
I tell the moss that I'll put them back where I found them using speech of beast and leaf, and then guide myself a bit. No dead. Fuck! Ah! I said I'd put you back.
When I see
Yeah.
when I
Yep.
see him slip, I would like to cast entanglement down on the side of the wells.
That's a
Yes,
spell.
yeah. So you feel yourself slipping, and then out of the cracks of the stones of the side of this well, roots of the trees and bushes around sort of reach out and go grab you and hold you.
Yeah, you can choose to
It's
fail automatically,
crazy.
I think, as well. So I can just choose to be grappled, right?
Unless you're choosing to like fight your
No,
way
I'm
out.
saying
of the
I'm saying you can choose to fail even
Yeah.
on
You can
bad
sort of-
things.
Yeah.
gripped and cradled by this tangle of roots.
Ulost, oblivious to what the fuck just happened, says, "Oh, I told you I'd save you, little moss. Thank you."
Are you
Goes
okay,
down.
old man?
Yes, the moss saved me,
Yes, the moss saved you.
but you can't talk to them, so you should use rope.
How high is it? How high is he from the bottom?
That's druid shade.
Only about 2 feet down. The well is probably another 40 feet because he really didn't do very well at the
No,
climbing.
no. I mean, thank you. What's that? The Princess Bride with the hands? They're
Yeah,
just, like,
exactly.
pulling me down. Like,
Yeah.
You could lower me a rope or something. Would be helpful or something.
I am helping, he says with a smile.
No.
Hello.
Anyway,
Torvald will tie a rope off and then start his descent as well.
I mean, you can get a certain distance down the well. I mean, it's not long before you come level with Ulost. Ulost, did you say you were continuing down or trying to?
Yeah,
I'm crowd surfing. Like,
These roots sort of tangling and guiding him down to the bottom.
I like to see him as kind of a plinko game. Tink, 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 tink.
Are you actually climbing down the rope, or is someone lowering the rope, Torvald?
He said he anchored it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just gonna climb.
All right.
on it.
Make me an athletics check at advantage.
Okay.
It's
That was a dramatic roll.
Athletics with advantage is a 12.
you managed to make it down. It's not as hard as Ulost is making it look.
You passed by me. Whoa!
And you
resources.
the pair of you reach the bottom of this possibly a well shaft, and this is quite a big map, so I'll give Tam a chance to try and adjust.
Yeah, I'm
Get
trying
it
to.
roughly in the center.
Okay, I
It's
see
kind
it.
of in the center of it.
I found it.
Adair, Chrysara, and Ira still up at the top. Are you following down? Yeah.
I think we should probably follow them in case there's any more.
Yeah, I suppose. Just be careful.
I will let them go first, and I have not gotten rid of the vines yet, just in case they slip.
Very smart.
Okay. Those of you climbing down the well, if you're using the rope, you can climb down with advantage, and it's an athletics check.
Torvald's at the bottom, like.
And essentially, just let me know if you manage to get less than 10.
I'm good.
Oh boy. Okay, I had a brain fart. That's a 10. Am I good? My bad.
Did the barbarian
Just-
just get 10 on athletics with advantage?
Oh no, I have an advantage. Never mind. Wait.
I mean, regardless, you're still good. I
If
just
you're using the rope. I mean, you can just about make it down without.
Okay, I was using the rope, but okay.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Make it down to an Adair.
I will go ahead, get rid of the vines, and I will use the rope to climb down.
Thank you.
Well, that's a 16, so I don't think I need to roll the advantage, right?
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so you make it down to the bottom. And as you reach the bottom of this well shaft, you find yourself in a roughly circular chamber. The walls look like they were originally blocks of stone, but some have crumbled and fallen loose, and you can see a few roots here and there starting to force their way through between the stones. There's bits of sort of stone and rubble scattered around on the floor beneath your feet. And you can see there's light shining down from above, from the circle of the well shaft. But other than that, it is dark down here.
Nice. When Torvald and Ulost first got down, Torvald, you would have seen with your sexy passive perception, Ulost starts like talking aggressively, not aggressively like angry, just like, are you really? Oh, now? Oh, okay. Pardon me a moment. He just stands over here in the corner and sits down, and out of his moss, a set of bones like eject themselves. Like they're not his own. Obviously he keeps his form, but just this like set of perfect bones starting from like his chest, rib cage, the arms, all part of his fungal form fall out into a perfect skeleton on the ground. He's like, just a moment. He sits down cross-legged in front of it and starts casting.
What are you doing over there?
I'm making a friend.
You're using necromancy.
What?
This is a little unnerving. Where do you think, what is he doing? And I'm looking for
He's just like tapping it in different spots, like Hey, and everybody, we have friends, and you have pointing at you guys like we're all friends, and he's gonna be our friend too. And after 10 minutes, I
Just spent 10 minutes just like
assume it took them like 5 or
Just
6
like
to
this.
get down.
We're all just standing around looking at each other like,
So, if any of you want to have wandered off for dinner, I think whilst Ulost was doing that, you are perfectly welcome to have done. So he's busy there talking to Bones.
well, I'm going to take out a torch and light it, because otherwise I can't see a dang thing.
In the flare of the torchlight, you can see
Hey, warn me before you do that next time.
Sorry, Torvald,
These-
I didn't think.
3 tunnels leading off. The air down here smells sort of almost stagnant. Like you can hear the drip of water. And Torvald. No, hang on. What's Torvald? Adair's passive perception is 19. I know that.
Mine's 18.
I'm 10.
Okay.
Is mayonnaise a fruit?
So,
No,
so
but it comes in
as
slices
you
now.
scrambling down, Torvald and Adair, when you reach at the bottom, you can hear, as well as the drip of water in the distance, you hear the pattering of the pattering of tiny feet.
Can I gauge what direction they're coming from?
They sound like they're coming from this direction. Oh, wrong thing. From this direction
Okay.
and from this direction.
Ah, fun. Okay. Adair, do you hear that?
Yes, I do, and it sounds like it's coming in from 2 places. Should we?
I'd recommend we go over here a little bit. That way we can not be surrounded.
Where are?
And then
Isara-
Isara is going to walk towards where Adair actually is. Kind of like into the hallway a little bit. Into the little corridor.
Old man.
So you can see.
I'd recommend
Hello?
everyone come over here.
Yeah, old man, hurry up! There's something coming.
Ulost starts running. He stays in front of you, but his skeleton, he says, Bones! Back there! The
You named
bones.
your skeleton Bones.
That's what he is.
It's a little on the nose, don't you think?
My name's Furbog before. Your name would have been Dwarf where I'm from.
Well, I'm a little bit more than my race.
Says you.
So you can hear there's a skittering pattering. It doesn't particularly sound to be getting closer necessarily. It's just definitely the sound that there's something off there moving in the dark.
Torvald, I'm going to put out my torch. I won't be able to see what's happening. You might want to move up front here. And using Druidcraft, I'll snuff out the torch.
All right.
Darkness descends. Ira, can you see in the dark?
That's a good question. I think we've talked about this, and
I
I
think
don't
Fire
think
Genasi is the
so.
only one that can.
Yeah.
I think she has goggles of night, though.
I do have goggles, though.
Oh, well then yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes, you do.
I always forget that I have them.
Those are useful things to have. Just wanted to...
Very.
Yes,
I
but
can't
they
see in the
look-
dark either.
They look goofy. They don't match the aesthetic.
Oh, your billowing cape. It's-
So as darkness
Anime protagonist.
descends, in fact, Chrysara, I don't think can see in the dark either, can she?
No, I don't have dark vision.
Why did we put the torch out?
So that maybe whatever it is can't see us.
I'm pretty sure whatever it is can probably see in the dark.
That would be my guess too.
Well then here, you hold the torch. I'm going to
Okay.
I'm going to be busy in a moment.
Easily done. He holds the torch, and as soon as he grabs it, you see the vines that swung around the last branch, just go.
So you're lighting the torch again.
Yeah, for sure. I can't see shit.
So in the light blossoms up again. You're still sort of hiding around in this sort of still near this central area. You can hear sort of the blip blip of water from down the tunnel that Torvald was heading towards. And from other directions, you hear this scrat of something scrabbling around, little feet padding around in the darkness.
Early bird gets the worm.
Those aren't birds.
Or worms.
Which are you staying put? Are you exploring further? What are you
They
doing?
sound like they're coming any closer.
Not really. It just sounds like there's things out there moving. From what you can tell, I don't seem to be getting any closer.
I can go check it out if you'd like.
I think we should probably go together.
I tend to be a good welcoming party.
Last time we split the party, I almost was eaten by rats. So.
You mean last time you ran into the woods by yourself?
Yes, that wasn't a decision made by the party. That was a decision made by you.
Oh, that's a harsh accusation.
Hello?
Hi.
Is someone down there?
Yes. Who are you?
My name's Bryn. Who are you?
You.
I read your book.
Are in the letters. Yes. We're big fans.
Yes.
Can you autograph this for us?
Where are you?
We're in the well.
Alright, I'll come to you. The voice of is echoing off down from one of the tunnels.
Sure. This is
Tell what
quite
tunnel?
exciting.
This way?
It's hard to be certain. The sound seems to be echoing around to some extent. It did sound like it's coming from more this direction. Down sort of the opposite way from the way that you were coming from. And then so you hear the sound of footsteps down and then briefly you hear, shit! Help! Help!
Torvald will start when he
They're
hears
down
help.
here! They're down here!
He's gonna start heading towards the way he hears.
And as you head back up, and as you reach sort of that start heading up in that direction, you see just sort of down this side tunnel, coming running towards you, is a kind of a dark, possibly half elvish looking man in very tattered and muddied looking clothing, and he's running down the corridor towards you, and he is being pursued by two rather strange looking creatures. Actually, you can't see them until you've moved a bit further up, so I will tell you if you move. From there, he's running towards you as though pursued by something.
All right. Everyone,
he comes
come this way.
running up out the tunnel.
I'm helping!
They're after me. There's three of them. There's three of them this time. And as you come running up there, I first of all need you to roll initiative whilst I just sort some things out.
Double combat!
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Ooh,
As
18.
coming scurrying out of the darkness, you see these three tiny creatures that could be best described as looking almost as though they were walking brains,
Oh God,
possibly.
No.
my worst nightmare.
Comes scrabbling and their way towards you.
I'm not helping.
And I think, what did you get, Torvald?
18.
18 for Torvald.
Whoa.
And Ira?
10. Just a 10.
And Chrysara?
16.
16. All right. And so you see this elf covered in mud and dirt come running out of the tunnel, going, "There's 3 of them! There's 3 of them!" And as he comes running up out the tunnel, Torvald, you are up first. What would you like to do about this?
I rolled a 16, but I'm not on the board.
Oh, that's because I forgot about you.
I'm just going to set this one out. So.
Only room for 1 druid.
I'm sorry. In the future, I think we should probably use Roll20 for rolling
that probably
initiative.
would be a good idea. Yeah.
Save some time. So it's up to Chrysara and Adair. I'll leave you to decide between yourselves who goes first. Well, start Torvald. What would you like to do?
All right, so Torvald is going to look down this tunnel and see these 3 things and say, "By thunderous wrath!" And then he's going to you're going to just like see this sphere of like electrical energy start forming basically where this middle one is. And then it's just going to burst out as he casts Shatter at the 3rd spell level.
Okay, you
that's
really
gonna be
don't
con
like
saving-
brains.
No, I don't. Con saving throw of 16 DC.
Okay. That is a failure. And a failure. And a failure.
All right.
Whoa!
And then
Triple
Torvald's
hit.
you're going to see it last a little bit longer than it normally would. And Torvald's going to say, "Thunderer, aid me." And it's going to just like be even more powerful as I channel divinity and max damage.
Yes.
Okay. This may be the shortest initiative we ever rolled. I mean, to save
I
it.
hope so, because these things are terrifying out of character.
I just want to say, considering Torvald's level of intelligence, I think it's interesting that he has such an advantage against brains.
He just blows stuff up, okay? He's very wise. Come on.
That's
now.
what happens to
He's
his
very
brain.
wise.
Street
Like-
smart.
He's very wise. So it's going to be 4d8. Or, wait, is that right? No. Yeah, 4d8.
At our 3rd level, yeah.
Yep, so 32 damage.
Okay, so we will save this initiative order for later, because essentially, this half-elf comes running up out the tunnel, and behind him, there's a crackle of thunder as these 3 brain-like creatures just explode. There's mush that just across the walls of the tunnel.
Yay!
And for now, we're out of initiative. I said I will save that order for if we need it again to save some time next time.
Bones, clap!
We'll start from Chrysara's turn next time. We'll start from Torvald. He rolled well. And thank you, Bryn. Thank you.
You're welcome. Torvald,
Those things
nice
are
to meet you.
those things are not fun. No, not fun at all. How did you?
Hello! I walk by him and go look at the brains. Walk by him and go look at the brains. Bones is still clapping.
He so as you sort of look down this, I mean, they're essentially mush at this point, but maybe an investigation check if you want to sort of examine the remains of brain mush.
He's just prodding it with his new torch. Not a normal animal.
Oh, that was
A 6.
it's honestly at this point they've been too liquidized to tell anything much about them. This is a brain that's gone through a blender. Or like a sonic.
Mind blown. It's like the mind blown emoji. Just-
Yeah.
Sits down on one knee. I just start druid crafting mushrooms into them, like one for you and one for you and one for you.
Is he with you?
Bryn, is it?
Bryn. Yeah.
What else is in these tunnels?
Oh, lots of those things. They're everywhere. They crawling out the cracks. They are not nice. Not nice at all.
You were in the diary we read.
I don't know about any diary.
You lost. Do you still have it on you?
Yeah, probably. I do.
Probably. It was this one. It talked about grimness and.
That's the month.
Yes. Months are different here.
It's still grimness, I think.
And you talked about unsealing
What?
wells, taking care.
Grimness?
You were missing. They were trying to find you.
Oh. Well, I there was a cave in. I got stuck in a tunnel. I almost got eaten by a plant monster. Then I got chased by brains. Then I ran further down a tunnel. Then I almost got eaten by a slime monster. And then I ran further down a different tunnel. And then I got chased by brains back this way again. And then thank all the gods. Thank the hate gods. The hate. I found you. And
Why are you staying in the tunnels if everything's trying to eat you?
because I can't climb out.
There was a collapse.
Have
Well, now
you
you should be able to.
tried?
I've tried. I have tried.
The moss is very slippery.
And you look at now. He's quite skinny looking.
We haven't had good luck. We haven't
young
had
man.
good luck with people we meet on the trail, so I'm a little suspicious.
Look, I've never really been much of a climber. I'm a student of history from Varnek, the University of Varnek.
Is anything currently affecting your mind?
He takes a little shuffle back from Ulost again. He goes,
Hello.
not that I know of. No.
25 insight.
Okay.
I'm familiar with this. I smell my own.
You're not the greatest just judge of people necessarily, but
I'm
just
not.
the smell of him actually is wrong. Like, you know what half-elves smell like. You know what they sort of feel like to your senses, and all your senses are screaming at you. But the spores,
I was gonna say the spores. I'm just like, hi! And the spores themselves are
the spores are sort of telling you, like, run.
from him specifically.
You getting this great sense from him of run the fuck away.
Ulost looks over at Torvald and he says, I think he's bad.
I didn't need to roll
Alright.
an insight for that. Sorry, Torvald.
Okay, one day you'll meet an NPC who's it.
I don't think he's survived in this tunnel by natural means.
All right, now take a few steps back.
Let's see. And, well, at that instant, you see him raise a hand, and he starts to say something. And
Hello!
some of you who are a little quick to action, if you're paying attention, well, can do something if you wish, but he hasn't. He goes, well, this is quite annoying, you know. Did I miss an ear again?
Torvald is going to reach down to his weapon and pull out this blue lightning, the shape just like his weapon, as he pulls the spirit out of his weapon and just swings it at him.
Oh,
All right.
it's really He's really trusting of me. Although
He's really
accurate,
trusting
because he said he
of
missed
the,
an ear.
Yeah.
the guidance of this stuff.
I'm helping!
Yeah, Torvald, take a swing. Bryn screams in like, well, screams.
I look back at the party, I'm like, don't worry, he's bad!
No, wait, get off, get off. You
It's
crazy
going
dwarf.
to- That's going to be a 14 to hit.
And that will hit.
That's going to be 12 force damage.
He screams louder as this thing strikes and he goes, "What are you doing, you crazy dwarf? Help! Help! Stop this crazy dwarf!"
And then he's going to call down a bolt next to his head and toll the dead.
Torvald knows how to make friends.
He does.
What is...
He said he missed an ear.
He's great.
Don't
The
trust
guy who
it.
just summoned a skeleton is like, this guy's bad, and you're like, fuck yeah, bud. Just swing at him.
Okay.
I mean, I assume Adair knows, like...
I pointed at Adair. He's bad too.
How you
Just have a
have?
Torvald
And
wrecking
everyone
ball
like,
machine.
they're bad.
Screw you, old man!
Yeah. Wait, the wall's bad. Everything's bad.
We know it's bad.
That will definitely be a wisdom success, though. I think.
Okay. It's 16.
starts with
DC,
the-
so.
Yes, that's a success. So Chrysara and Adair, Torvald has just attacked this now screaming half-elf who's trying to back away. What are you doing, if anything, about this situation? Get off me! Get him off me!
Well, I suppose, Torvald, are you attacking for a reason? As I reach and grab my maul, because I'm ready to go if we need to. Like, I'll break some hands, man.
Ulost said he was bad, and he said he missed an ear. What's that supposed to mean?
He's missing
He
his-
smells like death.
Just because the man is fast doesn't necessarily make him evil, but I step forward with my maul.
Torvald totally took that as like he's a shapeshifter and forgot to like form an
Yes,
ear
I
or
believe
something.
he's some sort of jelly. Yeah, no, maybe. Who's like?
All right.
Up and smash my maul on his foot just to see what happens.
So you squeeze it. You can probably just about take the space next to Torvald there. This is quite cramped quarters.
Yeah. I can't swing it, but I can definitely drop it on his foot.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
you can
this
definitely
doesn't-
drop it on it.
The
Yeah.
axe is kind of, like currently in my hand.
Incorporeal.
technically,
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
you
not
can.
in my hand. It's kind of just flying next
Yeah.
to me.
You can take the space the axe is in.
A million damage.
They're all attacking me.
Good thing my turn's last, because I'm about to say, psych.
What did you roll, Chrysara? To hit?
Yeah, it might help if I actually do that before I just assume I'm his foot. That's a 13.
That will hit. He is not wearing armor. He's wearing raggy, tatty, bloody clothes. And roll me what was the damage on it?
Oh, right. So, oh gosh. I drop it on his foot and we're going full out. That's
Unless you
8.
don't want to. Ow! And those of you who understand Elvish, I think that's Ira and Ulost, understand a string of Elvish like curse words. Which sound quite lovely. Those of you who don't know Elvish. So Adair, as Chrysara is busy, dropping mauls on the foot of this unarmed and unarmored, screaming young man, what would you like to do?
Having seen all of this, I would like to make an insight check. Do I get the impression that this is anything other than a person, considering all these comments from Old Man, who I would listen to respectfully?
Make me an insight check, Adair.
Well, at least we know he can't get away.
That wasn't very good. That's going to be a 24.
Ooh.
As he's screaming, there is an edge to this scream. You can hear it ringing in your mind, in your ears. It's taking on a strangely familiar sort of feel starting to ring through you. Sort of a vibration in your bones and sort of through your mind. And
does that cost my action to do that? Or?
No, that doesn't cost your action, but there's something very, very off about him. And you are abruptly reminded of a certain situation several weeks ago in the village of Solensby.
This?
Adair
what would you like to do, Adair?
Adair is going to walk forward a little bit, staying by the side of this. He is going to spit into his hand and then throw forward as a shard of ice flies out of his hand. And let's see if I hit.
Ice knife?
Mm-hmm. That's a 13.
A 13? That will hit.
Okay. So the first thing that happens is he's gonna take 2 piercing damage, and then
I spit.
And then I'm gonna need him to make a dexterity saving throw. And anybody within 5 feet of him.
So that is Crisara and Torvald, and he rolled a 15.
He succeeded, so.
So we have to roll away.
Isn't it me too?
Rolling?
Oh yes, and you lost.
Yep.
I forgot about you lost. Sorry.
Hello!
How could I?
Save is it? Is it dex save?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an advantage on those. Hold on.
You need to make a 15 or better.
Yeah, I got a 10.
Oh, sorry, bud.
Wait, I don't want to take any more damage. I'm going to use
danger.
absorb elements.
Okay.
Fuck you, Adair, and your stupid circle. Mutual pain.
The shard.
violence.
The shard explodes, and anyone who failed the save is going to take 2 cold damage, and if you made the save, you're okay.
Oh, 2 damage? That's fine.
Yeah, I rolled lower than I was hoping. So.
Did you just roll 4 damage total on Ice Knife?
Yes, just leave me alone. I'm having bad dice night. I know these dice are old. They're from 1970s.
That's why I channeled Divinity.
You gotta, yeah, I was gonna say you have to channel or take into consider inflation then. So those are like. Those are
dice
like, those are like 18s.
I love it.
If you're allowed dice inflation, then I'm allowed dice conversion rate.
Oh fuck, we're
actually,
all
all my
UK
dice rolls
dollars.
are actually a small percentage higher.
Your ice explodes and Ulost is like, oh thank you, as the moss absorbs a bunch of it and falls up into his weapon. I take 1 damage.
And the elf carries on screaming, and it's getting louder, and it's ringing through your ears now. The pitch of this scream that rings through your ears and through your mind. And I need, sadly due to directions, Ulost gets off free on this one, but I need Adair, Torvald, Ira, and Crisara to all roll me an intelligence saving throw, please.
No!
The rarest of the
No!
rarest. Wait, aren't druids? That's like one of the things we can do.
I need it to be wisdom. Nat 20!
Hey!
Oh, I did it!
Dab, dab, dab.
Got there.
I got a 4.
How about you, Adair? How's your dice doing?
That will be a dirty 6.
36.
Yeah, 4 and
Which means you rolled a 4?
No, I rolled a 3.
Oh, 3.
Okay, that's it. Hold on. I'm getting new dice.
Oh no! Putting the
Antique
1970
dice.
dice in jail.
Dice sale. 6.
Crisara, what did you get?
32.
32?
No, I got an 8. I was like, maybe it'll work.
A 30.
What,
I think if
oh,
you had
you
said a
lost-
lower number.
what does the skeleton get?
Oh shit, is he in the range?
Yeah.
Okay. Good thing they're super intelligent. Watch this. I'm a doctor.
And he may or may not be immune
12.
to the type of damage.
It depends
Okay.
what it is.
It is psychic damage.
Oh yeah, he loves those.
So all of those of you who failed, so that's everyone except Torvald. Take 25 points of psychic damage,
What? No.
Maybe,
and you're
though.
stunned.
Did you say 25?
Serious?
I said 25, and you're stunned.
Okay.
Thank you,
Cool.
die.
Sounds good.
this
My new favorite die.
this screeching scream rings through your ears. This blast of mind-numbing. Oh no, the skeleton!
He had a good run.
No.
So yeah, the three of you are stunned. The skeleton sort of.
It's weird that he doesn't have a brain, but still takes psychic damage.
That is weird. But
Yeah,
that was the dice.
Yeah.
And then
Bones,
Uh,
no!
the elf turns and sort of looks from Ulost to Torvald and goes, would have been much easier to deal with you all that way. And just takes a few steps back. You can take attacks of opportunity if you wish.
I love to do that.
I guess I'll punch him because I don't actually like my spiritual weapon doesn't get an attack of opportunity, right?
No.
So I guess I will punch him.
Oh yeah, you're not stunned. Wait, is your
That's-
weapon also your spiritual weapon?
So I don't actually use my weapon. It's just
Damn
kind of there to
hippies.
look pretty and for me to like rip its spirit out and be my spiritual weapon. Because my strength is 8, so like attacking with a weapon doesn't really.
Gotcha.
Alright.
Yeah, I rolled a 5, and I'm pretty sure I have a -1 to hit, so I think that's
You
No, I mean-
flail in the
Oh,
direction.
Jesus, sorry.
no.
Ignore that.
It would be
14.
yeah.
Yes, you managed to get a hit on him with your staff as he backs away down.
Hold
down
on
the
a
tunnel.
minute! And a giant club, like, taking up the entire hallway with absorb elements and green flame blade.
I really need to take Warcaster.
So he takes 16.
Okay, and carries on, backing away. And it's
Crying is a free action.
along out into a larger tunnel. And as he goes, I'll leave you to the wildlife.
Not so fast.
I am the wildlife.
Ira, you are stunned for this round, but at the end of your turn, you get to repeat your intelligence saving throw.
Sounds amazing.
I don't want to die.
It was a die.
I don't want to die. I love.
Oh, didn't get that memo.
I'll be talking to you after the game.
You told me not to kill Amalia.
Snap, I did.
You should have really
Barbarians.
specified.
The barbarian's biggest fear, psychic damage.
What did you get, Ira? on your intelligence save?
It's 5. I'm fine. I'm
Okay,
still-
you are still stunned. Ulost, it is your turn. As the half-elf backs away down the tunnel,
Okay.
steps lightly across the ground.
Ulost goes bounding towards him, but the spores look. Can I make a perception check?
Yeah, you can.
Did he gingerly step over something in particular? Dirty 20?
No, it didn't seem so. It was just over description from the DM,
Okay, cool.
making the players worry.
He will look back at the party and.
Do you have a source of light, Ulost?
No. Oh yeah, my torch. I'm holding my club.
Torch, yeah.
My club is my torch.
Your club is on fire and magical.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a thing
Right,
I
yeah,
can do.
You can see in the lightly torch that he's stepped through into this larger chamber, opening up, and you can see there seems to be some kind of sunken area in the center of it. And there's roots reaching down through cracks in the walls.
I'm gonna take a giant drink of stupid bitch juice, and you hear or you see Ulost look at his shoulder and just go, "Really, right now? Because of really? Because of bones? Okay." And the spores start swirling around him super aggressively, and like turn into this tornado, and you guys just like, as the torchlight fizzles, or not fizzles, but like just goes around the corner, you see like multiple faces form on his body, and a different voice call out and say, "We will eat your soul!" And he's gonna take on a different form as he runs over to this guy and stands in front of him. And
I'm not allowed to be creeped out. That's my job to creep you out with fungal weirdness.
I'm helping.
Personally, I'm loving every moment of this.
And that was my action to do that, but the Halo of Spores damage doubles at this point, and he has to make a con save or take 3 damage.
And that will be a failure on the con save.
As the spores just like little darts go whip through him. And I'll save the full description for if someone sees me.
How much damage is that?
There's only 3.
Okay.
Necrotic.
3 necrotic. Torvald, it is your turn.
Alright, Torvald's gonna say, "Come back, you coward!" And he's going to take the spiritual weapon, he's gonna point it at him and fire a bolt, guiding bolt at him. First level.
Okay.
Alright.
That's you rolling. Yes.
It's gonna be dirty 20.
Okay. Roll me the damage on that.
Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt.
4d6
Damage. That's gonna be 16 radiant damage.
I'm helping.
Okay, 16 points of radiant damage.
And as that beam is streaking towards him, it's just like creating this line behind it. And then he's gonna take the axe that he just pointed, he's gonna swing it around, and he's gonna throw it directly. It's gonna just go like directly along the line, right towards him.
All right.
And that's gonna be 22.
You had advantage on that too, though, right?
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
I
okay,
rolled
sorry.
advantage, yeah.
That will hit. 22. Definitely hits.
Right. So that is going to be plus 5, 11 force damage.
Okay.
What a man, what a man,
And
what a man, what a man.
That's the axe.
Fly
up
here. And then Torvald's gonna run him down too. And as he's running him down, he's gonna take out his actual weapon. as he's running towards him.
Oh, this is a clearly serious situation.
Yeah.
All right, Chrysara, sadly you are stunned, but at the end of your turn you get to repeat your intelligence saving throw.
I'm screwed.
And Adair too at the end of your turn a moment later. So I'll let both of you do those, please.
No. Take that as a no.
No? Chrysara? What did you roll? Come on, you can tell us.
Oh, sweet mother of Jesus, I quit. I quit D&D. That's it. I'm done.
I would like to
pretty
take
sure-
this moment to apologize for making jokes about Torvald's intelligence.
I do too. This is bad. That's
What was it?
that's a nat one.
Okay, so you are both still stunned.
Our collective
Torvald,
intelligence is pretty low.
from the
as a
sunken
group.
depths of this chamber, you think you just hear something rustling and moving down in the depths.
You also
Of
see a
this-
giant mushroom man screaming
You
in your
also
mouth.
yes.
Mushroom man.
Mushroom. I want to be a mushroom man. I mean, super serious.
As down in the pits of this, you see the vines and roots down amidst the rubble down this sunken area. You see them start to twist up and move, just drawing together in this great mass of undulating, moving plant matter. Starts slithering
Druid
its
orgy.
way.
Snake mating ritual.
Starts slithering its way, once I've added to the right layer, up out of this sunken area at the
Would you say it's shambling or no?
I would say that was the wrong one. That was the there aren't two. I just did the wrong thing.
Free action
I would
multiply.
say almost it's shambling, yes. That was
Cool.
up out of this sunken area, and you hear but actually it's taking this turn as it orientates itself and begins to drag itself up out. The half elf, he smiles. He goes, I'll come back for you later, and disengages and starts making his way away down towards that a far tunnel entrance off this room.
Is this an
to get
actual
further.
thing? What is
Yes.
No. Are you an actual thing? What do you mean?
I don't know what
And
That's Oll'Man.
Nothing. I'm helping.
For Torvald's sake, what does he see in this fungal? There's a shambling mound of plant
There's
matter.
two
There's also-
equally concerning creatures in Torvald's line of vision right now. You see a withered, almost scarecrow thin creature, like it's sucked in skeleton. The swarm of spores that you saw earlier is like doubled around it, and you recognize it probably is Ulost because of the similarity of the spores. But he is hunched over. He's only about 6 feet at this point, and his body is emaciated and like sucked in. It looks like train spotting at the end. Spoiler alert. And and he's just like, the spores are swirling around him aggressively. That club he's holding, he's dragging behind him, almost looks zombie-like, and it's also got the swarm spinning around it now. And it looks at you, and a face pops out of the swarm and just says, "We will not die down here."
Yes. So as this is going on, Ira, at the end of your next turn, you get to make another intelligence saving throw.
Yay! Do you want to do that now? Oh, 17!
Okay. That is a success. At the end of your turn, you return to your senses, sort of blinking and stun from awakening from your stun. You see you can see Adair and Krasara both just kind of stood staring blankly, and you can hear noises of
Oh, I don't like that.
horrible noises coming from down in the direction that Torvald went. That is the end of your turn, and Ulost, it is your turn.
Torvald, you see the spores form like tendrils, like venom almost behind him as they push him forward, and it like leaps over on the other side of the shambling mound, and is gonna swing with his big fat club as he's jumping over. It just comes down onto him, dealing extra damage this time, maybe. 18.
18. That will hit. Yes, that will hit.
And this is 12, 9 fire damage, 3 poison damage, and 7 bludgeoning damage.
Did you still have absorb frost?
No, I used that on my reaction to club that guy in the head as
I
he
was like,
ran away.
just go for all the elements.
That's what I'm trying. That's how I built this creature. Essentially,
I'm a rainbow druid. I do.
It's making more work for the gem. Like, so this gets halved, this gets doubled, this gets times by 3.95.
And then I'll use my reaction again as the spores violently riddle through this creature, dealing necrotic if it makes a DC 15 con save.
I think you're supposed to do that on their turn, by the way.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I mean, regardless, we can do it now and then not do it.
It's fine. We'll do it now. I will work it out.
Either way, he's going to start his turn there.
Yeah. It's gonna. All right.
Or when it enters my turn the first time too. So either way, I guess.
It's a con save.
Yeah, con save DC 15.
That was a failure.
Takes an extra 5 necrotic.
Okay. Ira, unfortunately, having come to your senses, you do see one of the small local pieces of local wildlife scurrying its way down the tunnel towards you.
Uh-huh.
And as it gets up close to you, I need you to make me another intelligence saving throw, please. As it comes scrabbling up, sort of, you feel this kind of pull. This is the week for intelligence. Like, it never gets used that much.
Sorry, my audio cut out. Was it you said an intelligence?
I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw. As you feel this kind of
Sure.
in your mind.
You think dice that I paid a good amount of money for would roll well.
Opposite.
You have to pay extra for the loaded ones.
It's always the cheap ones you got for free.
Yeah. No, all of my gemstone dice just roll terrible.
First world problems. All of my gaming dice made out of precious stones don't roll high numbers.
Dice. Try to accept they're only for show.
What did you get on your intelligence save?
Like a 5. It was a 5.
Oh.
Am I back into the stun?
No, you're not stunned this time.
Oh, something better. I hope.
You take 10 points of psychic damage.
Cool. I dig it.
Also a failure. And what is your intelligence score?
I have intelligence of 10, so modifier of 0.
Oh god.
Oh, sadly, with a 10,
Everyone's shaking their heads and I don't like
it's not
that.
a 10. I'm afraid it's not a 10 anymore, Ira. You are stunned. Because currently and temporarily, your intelligence is 0.
Cool!
Oh god.
How
Ira,
fun.
no!
You feel...
Some would say that was already my intelligence.
Wait, does this mean the relationship between Torvald and Ira is finally going to work?
Oh!
Oh shit! Is that advanced shade? God damn.
Damn.
Am I in the middle of a rap battle?
And yeah,
You don't want a piece of this.
I
Uh,
feel that your intellect
Be devoured.
be devoured. We'll get back to you in a moment.
As the mound shambles, you feel your intellect be devoured.
It's your turn.
yay.
The
Hey, look, you
descriptions
gotta
are built
throw in
in.
these. Some of them just flow better than others. It's a walking brain. Anyone who's played D&D for some time starts to know what a walking brain means. It means you're fucked.
It's not good.
I think that'd be a walking. Never mind.
Anything Tis comes up with, we're screwed. That's what I've come to the conclusion of.
Hey, I
Sure.
can't. Torvald, it's your turn.
All right. Unfortunately, Torvald can't see this happening, so he can't go help, which is sad. But
That's fine.
Stay with me.
Torvald's gonna call down a couple of bolts from the sky as he tolls the dead right next to the creature's head. So that's a wisdom saving throw. DC 16.
Okay. That was on. Was that on? Sorry, my audio blinked for a second. Was that on the mound or on the your friend? On the
What?
mound?
No, not
Was that on
my
the mound?
friend. Yeah, on the.
I
whatever
meant
the
your by your
shambling
friend. I
mass.
meant your enemy. That is a failure from the mound. It's yeah, that is a failure. Definite failure.
13 necrotic damage.
The mound is
Speaking
scrambling
my
its way up these steps. Yeah, speaking
then-
your language, it's going. I'm going to eat you.
And then the
We eat you fast.
spiritual weapon is going to take a swing with the axe side and attempt to hit it. And that's going to be a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Right.
Yes. Axe
Uh,
striking down to this
7 force.
massive plant growth. Okay. Alright, so this massive plant growth, is that everything, Torvald? Because Chrysara, at the end of your turn, you get to make another intelligence saving throw. Come on!
Yes, that's everything that Torvald has.
Yeah. So Chrysara and Adair, intelligence saving throws, please.
Outside of well, I guess fuck, neither one of you can help because one of you int is 0. But this can be shaken by an ally too, right? Technically, I think. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know
If
how
one
you
of them-
guys do like meta
Ye-
knowledge, but
But yeah, sadly they've not got any allies in the area.
yeah, I know
to
the
help.
one who did is at a 0, and Bones is down.
What did you get, Chrysara? You're muted.
Well, no, I just whimpered. No, I'm not muted.
No, you're still out. Adair?
I also rolled a 12. And I would like to invite anybody interested after the show to hang around as I will take a butane torch to all of my dice.
Yes.
Hear them scream.
Wait. Can I switch to my loaded die? I'm gonna.
The mound scrambling its way up out of this sunken pit area turns towards the other mound of horrible plant fungal matter. And it's going to attempt to attack.
Makes sense.
Ooh. I swear that this is all my... I have bad luck on dice normally. I roll like shit. Tonight, it's all coming up my... It's all coming up, Gary. That is a 25 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that hits for sure.
So as it slams out towards you, that is 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And you are grappled.
Good.
And
Restrained
As-
or just grappled?
you are grappled, and it's going to use its second attack to pull you in
Okay.
as you're sort of dragged in to join this mass mound of plant matter and
And that
fungal
looks
matter
like
as
the
well.
halo
And root.
spores. Yeah, who's part of this creature now?
Yes, you are currently engulfed in this, and Ira, you can't really do anything right now.
No.
But you can,
I'm
all you can
done.
do is stare in blank incomprehension as this green creature scurries its way up towards you and sort
Hello,
of
brain.
starts clambering its way up
Hello.
over you. And I've lost my bloody page. And those of you who know me know I'm not great at alphabets. This is just, give me a minute.
A, B,
As
C,
it's-
D, E, F, G.
As it scrambles away, then it disappears.
Goodbye, Mr. Brain.
And Ira's body starts taking a lurching step in this direction.
What?
No, no.
Ulost Oll'Man.
Hello. I mean, what is the engulf condition?
You are. Oh yes, thank you. Why do we have to?
DM, ma'am, sir.
Madam DM, ma'am, sir. Yeah, that is my correct title, although I prefer captain. And you are blinded. You are
Cool.
restrained.
Nice.
You can't breathe.
Good.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Constitution save on my turn.
Yeah.
1,000,000. 10.
That is 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
God, I might kill this poor old man at this rate.
Mm-hmm. I have my temp HP is at 1. Which
Well,
means it's still up.
yeah.
It's my turn, right?
Still- Yeah, it's your turn.
And I have disadvantage because I'm blinded and restrained. They don't stack, so it's regular disadvantage.
Regular disadvantage.
As he rees aggressively inside the corpse of this thing and is going to swing his club at disadvantage. 16. Nice.
That will hit.
As you see the spores erupt out of it, it's going to take 7 magical bludgeoning damage and then 11 poison, 3 poison and 8 fire.
It's still there. It's still moving and moving. Oh, you can also use your action to break out at any point you want to attempt. I should have
I
mentioned.
like it in here.
You are one of us.
This is my final form.
Wait, let me just, I'm going to post the actual thing. When a creature you can see moves into a space within 10 feet of you or starts their turn there. Yeah, so
Yep.
I will,
Yeah.
when it starts its turn there, I guess I will use that again.
Right,
But
I
we'll
guess
just roll
it's-
it now in case, because
Yeah.
no matter what, I'm going to be in its form. 4 damage.
Yeah, it's
on a
going to be
15
starting its
con.
turn in your space, so I'll do it
Always.
now because I'll forget otherwise.
Yeah.
So how much was that?
4
Con.
damage on a 15 con. save.
It made its con save. So
Okay,
no.
takes nothing.
Ira's body still ing its way down this corridor. Torvald, it's your turn. I realized I moved Ira on the wrong turn.
All right. So Torvald is going to do the same thing. He's going to call down a couple of bolts. So it's going to be a wisdom saving throw.
That is a failure.
I start
From the mound.
blasting.
Ooh, 19 necrotic
Oof.
damage.
Cantrip.
That's a cantrip.
Cantrip. That is a hell of a cantrip.
19 cantrip.
There's definitely ragged bits of holes starting to form in this mound now, but it's still, a significantly large mound of plant matter and still scrambling its way up. Anything else, Torvald?
Yep, the axe is going to take another swing. Ooh, that's going to be an 11.
Alright, that will not hit. Alright, it kind of strikes off one of the bigger, thicker roots of this shambling mass.
What you're swinging?
You hear from inside.
Krasara, at the end of your turn, you get to make an intelligence saving throw. Is this effect that actually is probably due to end soon before you... This is why you need a smart person then.
Just make the save.
Come on, come on! What was it?
It was not a
Adair.
pass.
Adair, intelligence saving throw. Come on, come on.
Also not a pass. You can see them
I
swearing.
I rolled this, and it was on a 16, just kind of hovering, and flipped over to a 6. So that will be a 9.
Nice.
Those dice.
I broke into the other set of dice.
Those dice are to blame. The mound moves forwards towards Torvald and carries with it Ulost, bringing him away along, and it lashes out towards Torvald. That is a 19 to hit. I swear this is not how I usually roll. This is brilliant. I love this. That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
But it cannot pull you in because it's full.
That's full. Nom nom nom. And then as it hits, lightning surges through Torvald's armor, and they have to make a dexterity saving throw.
That is a failure.
Okay. So it's going to be 2d8 damage.
White knight to queen.
That's going to be 10 lightning damage.
And as the lightning into this pile of mound of roots and tangled things, you watch as a couple of the roots where they've been cut and sliced knit back together.
Nice. Perfect.
And some of the holes in this mass seem to be healing up. And it wriggles with renewed energy.
Thunder damage. I meant thunder damage. Not
You
lightning.
said lightning.
I meant thunder. No, I said lightning.
Yeah. You lost. It's your turn. Ira will get to what happens to you probably next week. It's going to be the how to fix Ira.
He took the damage from that thing. I'm all up in its guts, flailing wildly. Do I take damage on the start of my turn?
Yes, you need to make a Constitution saving throw. Thank you for reminding me.
I'm helping! 3!
You are
Helping.
definitely helping. That is 15 points of bludgeoning damage.
The spores, Torvald, you would see the spores reduce slightly. And you hear from inside the shambling go, "Where am I?" as he screams out loud, realizing he has no idea where the fuck he is or how he got here. That is his life. He is going to, inside the mound itself,
Yep.
cry, and then scream, "I'm helping," and then just swing at it. Oh, I'm just gonna keep doing it. Inside, he's just punching and flailing wildly. 24, And it takes 8 damage and 2 fire damage. 8
Okay.
magical damage and 2 fire damage.
As it shrivels back a little to about how it was before Torvald hit it with lightning.
And then we'll do that again too. That's just the 3. Ignore the
I
fire.
didn't know that the plant monster would like lightning.
Who does? And it needs another con save, or takes 3 necrotic damage.
Okay, and that is a failure from it.
As it's Torvald, you see like little, almost like wire-like lines of spores pierce out of it, dealing 3 damage.
All right, it is starting to. I mean, it definitely.
Where am I? What's happening? Who are you? Where's my friends?
And Torvald, it's your turn.
All right. Torvald's going to. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to call down the bolts next to its head. Wisdom saving.
That is a failure.
Okay. So it's going to be 12 necrotic. And then the weapon's going to come and swing at it. And that's going to be 23 to hit.
Okay, that will hit.
And that's 11 force damage.
Nice.
All right. So there's definitely gaps opening up more in it now, and you can see Ulost's lost body.
For a second, you see his face just, hello! Ah!
We'll get you out of there. Keep fighting.
Ah!
And Chrysara and Adair, you know the drill. It's maybe the last time before you actually naturally wake up after a minute has passed, I think, almost at this point.
Jeez.
No?
14?
No?
Oh.
Adair, come on.
16.
Yes! Can we have...
Because it's about to wear off. Why not?
As Chrysara,
That's the end of your turn.
you're still stunned, but at the end of your turn, Adair, you're no longer stunned. You come back to your senses. You see Chrysara staring stunned beside you, and Ira heading towards you. The mound lashes out towards Torvald again. I think that is actually going to miss this time, because that is only a 9 total.
Yeah, that will definitely miss. So he's going to smack it away with the shield.
Hello!
And Ira, it's your turn.
Yay. Let's see.
Adair seems to have blinked to consciousness, but the Chrysara still looks stunned.
Ira's still alive?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just,
Oh shit, she got better. It's fine.
you know,
Yay!
I'm just doing my best. Okay, how does Adair look? Has he been injured much other than being stunned?
I'm in very bad shape, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, Ira's gonna come up to you and pat you on the shoulder, and that'll be lay on hands for 10.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Alright. You lost.
Hello!
You're still alive?
Yeah!
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Gladly! Watch this, nerds! 1,000,008. The reason I'm still alive is because that fungal form gives me 20 temporary HP.
That's eight further bludgeoning damage.
I'm getting close though. I'm tanking.
You're tanking from inside this mass of writhing roots and leaves and vines that's writhing around you. Okay,
It's not so bad.
Still restrained by it. What would you like to do?
I would like to. I am unfamiliar with this particular type of creature. I will reach into my bag and pull out a hunter's trap and leave it inside the shambling mound and cast heat metal on the trap inside its body.
Okay, interesting. You are also inside its body.
I am, but it's one creature takes the damage.
Okay. All right. There's no save, is there, for heat metal? It's just.
There is, I think, actually. It's a con 15.
That would be a failure from the mound of roots
Nice.
and.
The good thing about it is, it glows red hot. It takes, 14 damage. It might be resistant, though, I'm not sure. Until the spell ends, you can use your bonus action to cause some concern. If the creature is holding or wearing the object and takes the damage and fails the save, and it doesn't drop it, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay, so it's got disadvantage currently because it's not yet managed to drop this thing.
I got you a present, he says as it starts to erupt.
Torvald, you can see this glowing sort of hot metal object, and you smell this smouldering of wet, woody material starting to smoke and burn.
Whee! As Ulost gets tossed around like a ballroom.
And Torvald, what would you like to do?
Hang in there. I'm gonna get you out. And then Torvald's gonna again, call down a couple bolts.
Precision surgical removal.
Just trying to weaken it enough, and then so that's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. We have returned to the standard TIS rolling school of failure.
Yay!
13 necrotic. And then the spiritual weapon's gonna come back to Torvald's hand, and he's gonna swing it, and he's gonna try to slice open a spot for him to get out.
Yeah.
As he attacks with that.
The vines are smouldering, they've been blasted.
Ooh.
It's definitely looking a bit tattered and worn now. What did you get?
Nat 20.
Hey!
Roll me that damage.
All right. Not the best thing to crit on, but all right. It's gonna be 12 force damage.
Okay. So you cleave down into this, and you can it's still twitching and moving, the remnants of it, but you can definitely have you can clear a space. You can see Ulost now.
Hello!
The side that's sort of kind of twitching, essentially for the sake of this, like a small portion of it still alive and writhing and wriggling, but Ulost is free, and the greater majority of it has been cleaved and torn away. Krasara, at the end of your turn, I would like you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Badger.
At the end of your turn, you snap back into reality. You are no longer stunned. And you can see down the corridor, as Torvald cleaves down into this mound of leaves that wasn't there last time you looked. The ghost in the background. Adair, it's your turn.
Having just snapped out of this, I'm going to look around, taking my surroundings a little bit. See Ira standing in front of me, and does Ira look normal or unusual to me? And I will ask the same about Krasara, since they would be the first things I see.
looking between the both of them, I guess make me a either perception or insight, depending on what you're trying to glean from them.
I'll go with an insight.
And
That will be a 24. Why couldn't I roll like that earlier?
they seem both a bit stunned and dazed. Ira, well, there's something off slightly about her. I will leave it to Moira to decide exactly what is off about Ira here and how you'd like to do this.
Well, I noticed she's not talking.
I was just gonna kind of laugh at you.
How about those childhood memories, huh?
She's just gonna kind of laugh a little bit and just. Do you feel better?
I do, Ira.
Good.
Voice the cadence of it is just slightly wrong.
Are you okay, Ira?
Yeah. Are you?
Can I get a general... Looking at her, does
Looking
she
at
look
her eyes.
injured? Does she look like she's been injured, or...
She doesn't really look injured. Look at your eyes.
I can't, there's sunglasses on.
Yeah, you're not really getting anything from her. Like, they're not focusing the way they would. There's something very off about Ira. But in that 6 seconds, that's really all you can basically glean from her. As the last slithering remnants of this mound make one last feeble, weak grasp towards 12, actually no, it gets 2 goes. One weak gasp towards Torvald. That is an 11.
I will not hit.
And towards Ulost, we are back to normality. That is a 1. A natural
Just
1.
misses.
And-
Torvald. Ulost bends down to like tie his shoe. Like, whoa!
And Ira, it is your turn.
Great.
Ira.
Ira's gonna go ahead and
I like to have a turn.
forward. How does Corsara look?
Not good.
Okay, Ira is going to pat. You get 10 health. Lay on hand.
Alright.
She's so helpful.
She tries.
Which brings us. Yep. Was that anything?
That's it. And she just
To
goes,
Ulost.
Are you okay?
I'll use my bonus action to try and burn a bitch.
Is that the one with the saving throw?
Yeah, it's 15.
That is a failure.
Nice. How deep is that pit?
It's more like it sort of descends down, and there's sort of a pool of water at the bottom.
Okay, we can't tell how deep it is.
No, it just needs to be. It could be a puddle. It could be deeper. Hard to tell. Probably more puddle depth than like endless chasm of water.
Okay, cool. Ulost is going
Unless
to.
you really want an endless chasm of water, it could be negotiated.
No, that's good. Ulost looks at Torvald and says, "Let's finish this together." And as soon as he says that, the spores themselves start to spin up aggressively again, like covering his body. That disgusting fucking thing shows up as he's about to swing at it. He just goes, "Let's do it, friend!" And instead it's just and runs into the cave.
And disappears off into the darkness.
Well, I guess it's up to me then.
Yeah, Torvald, it's your turn.
All right. So Torvald is again going to call down a couple of bolts next to it from
I'm
the sky. You're helping. You're not helping. You ran away.
I did damage.
You did. At one time.
It's this feebly
Yeah, but
twitchy
it was-
kind of leaves now at this point.
The six still hits.
Wisdom.
Is that a wisdom save? That is a success this time round, I believe. That is an 18.
Yeah, that's a success.
I remember rightly. I should
All right, and then the axe is gonna attack.
hit.
It's a nat 1. It's not gonna hit.
All right.
Halo scores. Retroactive.
I was gonna say. I was gonna give Grasara the chance to run in.
Oh yeah, no. Either way, go ahead. I actually I'm
Grasara.
on baby duty right now. I have to go put my kid to bed.
Yeah, we're gonna say we are in our final seconds here. As
Okay.
I'm gonna say, as Torvald takes a swing and misses this man entirely, Grasara, you can see this last shambling sort of mass. As you are back in consciousness, you are yourself once more.
Hello. I
What
love
would you
that
like to do,
Torvald's
Grasara?
the only one who saw it too. No
just
one knows
wait.
that you lost.
Just wait.
Yeah, you lost.
A scream of curse words in Primordial, like full on entire breath length of swears as she comes back to. And she's gonna see if it's attacking Torvald.
It's still kind of latching out and trying to reach for Torvald, but there's not much of it left now at this point.
I'm going to grab my maul and charge that bad boy. So, and I'm raging. Because she's, I guess.
I got you. Be understandably pissed at this situation. All right.
Not pissed enough.
No,
Not reckless.
Did you reckless?
not reckless.
Oh yes, reckless.
She's barbarian.
This one's.
I tried to remember to do all this at once, and then I was like, I panicked because it was a 5. That's much better. That is a 17.
All right, roll that damage if you come roaring in.
As the casters roll their eyes as the barbarian says, I try to remember it all. Yes.
Oh, I'm pretty pissed. So that's a 12, 13, 14 with my rage plus 2. So
So as this Kasara runs in, the smouldering, scattered remains of this thing scattered across the floor. As Ulost disappears off into the darkness of these tunnels. The tunnels which are still stalked by your original foe. And as Ira, helpfully having recovered from her brief spell of weirdness, sort of gives her healing hands out, I think we're going to end on a bit of a cliffhanger this week.
Oh darn! At least let me do my last thing.
I was gonna say, you hear down
What was
the
your last-
hallway.
I'm seeing
Okay.
Krasara
Okay.
take off down the hall. Adair's going to run around beside them, and seeing Torvald and Krasara beating on this pile of plant matter that I assume's got a little bit of blood in it too, he's going to yell at them, "What the hell did you do to Ulost?"
In some sort of other weirdly alien language. Well, actually, no. Regular language, just different voice. You hear,
You all be a skeleton!
as in another clamoring of feet hit the hallways. I'm going after new bones.
Nice.
Alright. So, thank you
fun,
very
guys.
much to everyone who joined us. And thank you very, very much to our guest for this evening for bringing
Yes.
That was fun.
Ew.
splendid character.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck. I hope you see him again, or maybe you won't, or maybe you do. Ah, who knows?
Oh, we don't know.
Well, I mean, Adair's had his heart ripped out over his mother. He finally made a druid friend who's had his heart ripped out over that. His friends killed his friend. I don't know. This
Everything
is just...
Tovald says is a lie. I'm a good boy. All right.
Yeah.
No one
the
else
only
saw that
people
besides Tovald, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
No one
no.
else saw the big plant thing except for Torvald.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
Krasara thinks that she just squashed a little plant thingy that she just had to hit once. Torvald's been battling it for like a minute.
Minutes straight.
Yeah, just
And
wait.
rounds
Just
of
wait.
combat, everyone's like, I can't roll int.
Adair's
That was
gonna
great.
Adair's gonna heal it because he thinks it's you lost. So
No, knob squad. Oh fuck.
Well, there'll be a lot of.
I gotta go do baby duty. I love
Alright,
you guys.
thanks,
Tess,
man.
that was a lot of
Thanks for
fun. Thank you
coming.
so much.
you.
I'm gonna fuck up the cameras.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Oh,
Wait, no, I'll just leave it running.
Yeah, just
no,
leave
I'm
it
gonna
running.
fuck up the cameras. No, fuck you, Adair. Haha.
Cameras. Cameras be damned.
yeah. Well, yes.
Jade,
Thank you very much. We'll be back again next week.